All right, y'all know what time it is. It's the Brothers Got Next. As always, it's your boy Kwab. I'm joined by D, and by popular demand.
Whoa!
At least he thinks it's popular demand. We got our boy Aneesh. Of course, as you guys know, Aneesh used to work with us at ESPN, but he's just become a friend, man. Really good dude. He's knowledgeable. He kind of hypes himself up, but he's good. He's good, and you're gonna understand why he's been on our show. I think is this 4 times now? 4?
Yeah, man, it's a yearly tradition, which I'm honored. Always honored, guys.
Yeah, so it's
it has been a year. Yeah, this is yearly. He comes on yearly.
Aneesh is
it's not enough. But it's not enough, but I'll take a yearly appearance.
Yeah, Aneesh is
maybe you could sub for us, like you know how like the main hosts are out. You can sub in for us, and you could do like a Jason McIntyre when he does the herd. You can sub in.
He's fully on the herd now. That's like his role now.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not a big fan, but that's another argument for another day. You know what I mean?
What are you going to say, like Nick Wright or somebody? I don't want to be Nick Wright.
Well, he has a show. Well, I'm not a Nick Wright fan either, but
he doesn't like any of these people.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of any of it because they're just so like. They just blow hard. They just overly like analyze stuff. It's like, okay, bro, like you're reaching. They just reach. That's the thing. I don't like.
They do that stuff for entertainment purposes. Like that's what.
Right, I know, but that's how they get away with it, which I don't like. They're like, oh, well, I do it for entertainment. I can say that. No, you just can't say stuff on the air, and then because people take that for your word. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they don't even spit facts. They just say their opinion. It's like, no, that's your opinion. That's not fact. You know what I mean?
I feel you. So. But cool, man. We're in the middle of what an interesting NFL season this is, right? Because especially in the AFC, there's no real like strong favorite. Like I guess it's the Bills. Maybe, but nobody's really buying the Broncos. The Patriots.
Can I ask y'all like both a question? Do y'all think this year? And look, I get it. Numbers wise, they're probably still doing great. But I don't get the sense or feeling that people are into the NFL as they have been in the past, like this year. I don't know. That's the feeling I've been getting.
Oh, I think it's just as big as it's ever been. I mean, the Cowboys.
Right. No. Numbers wise, I get you. But when I'm talking about like just talking, like even just talking small talk with people, even like with friends of mine, I don't feel like people are as into it as they have been in the past. That's just the feeling I've been getting. It's not like a big deal, and I don't even think it has to do with even your personal team. People are just not. It's not in discussions like that. Like, yeah, people. It's the NFL, so it's going to do numbers. But I don't get the sense of like, oh, people are just so excited into it. They're just like, yeah, it's the NFL. I'll watch. It's cool. It's a Sunday. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the casual fan vibe. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching the game. I'll give you an example of Thanksgiving. When I was I had Thanksgiving at my mom's house, but then I went over with some other people. It just seemed like the game was like in the background. Like, yeah, people, it's on, but it's not like they're not as engaged. Like, it's like, oh yeah, it's on, it's cool. And I think that's why the Cowboys and Chiefs did a lot of good numbers because yeah, people probably had it on, but were they engaged in it? I don't know. We don't know. We weren't in every household, but yeah, I think people had it on. It was like, yeah, it's in the background. It's like when we used to watch SportsCenter. Like, oh, SportsCenter's on, but are you really paying attention to it? That's just the feeling I've been getting this year when it comes to the NFL. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys, and I know you have a different perspective because you're around it all the time. But maybe Aneesh can maybe answer it better at it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the numbers. I think the numbers would probably go against a lot of viewers and stuff.
Right.
For me though, I mean, I worked in sports for 6 years, 7 years, and then I did a hard turn out of sports, and I had to look around a lot of times. I was like, hey, do you guys like want to talk about like the big game on tonight? And they're like,
right.
People just would like,
right.
Who's playing? Like, hey, who's playing? And I quickly found myself when I got out of sports, I was the most knowledgeable person about sports in the room because I started hanging out in rooms that weren't like ESPN rooms. We'd go out and it's like we all would talk about sports all the time. Mm-hmm. So I think there's something to it. I think there are a lot more casual fans and non-fans that I thought when I was working at ESPN. I'm like, oh yeah, everyone cares about Sunday Night Football. Everybody's watching. And I just don't, again, they might have it on. It might be on in the background, but I don't think they're into it. Right. As I thought, where when we were working at ESPN, it's like the world revolved around it. It's like Monday Night Football. How can you not watch? And it's like, yeah, there's 290 million people who aren't watching.
Right. And then I guess a follow-up to that too is, do you think the gaming has hurt it? Because I would say a lot of people I talk to too only care about the betting aspect of it. They don't really care about the game. Like, they don't care about Josh Allen and, oh, is he going to win MVP? They just care about, oh, is he going to give me, whatever points, 30 points, and can I win my league? That's the vibe I've been getting. And I've been feeling that actually the last couple of seasons. Like, people really just, with the gaming, it's like, oh, yeah, I care about my betting, but I don't really care about the game. Like, I can care less if the Bills beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think sports betting in general, just over the years, has just gotten bigger and bigger. So like, we're just going to see more and more of that. Of course, fantasy football has also gotten bigger. So people are, like you said, there's a lot more casual fans that are just watching just to root for, oh, I need this team to cover this spread, or, but and like you mentioned as well, since I'm around the NFL a lot, it's hard to see, everybody at my job's engaged, like, clearly,
Respected for you. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get
so
it.
that's a good question. Though it may have to do with just how I kind of started the podcast, where like there isn't necessarily like a clear cut great team this year. Like, we don't have, although you could argue the Chiefs haven't been great for a couple of years, but at least we knew, like, all right, well, this team is going to be in the mix. We don't really have a clear cut favorite right now. I mean, we thought that until we saw the Rams last night. We're like, they might be more beatable than we think. Does anybody trust Seattle to get to the Super Bowl? I don't know if I do. We don't love Philly. And then the AFC is just a big jumbled up mess.
I think there's also this year, it feels like a lot of normalcy at quarterback, to be honest, that we haven't had for at least the 20, 25 years, 30 years that we've been following. You're like, okay, the best quarterback is Josh Allen, but then you watched a few games and you're like, watch him at Miami, you watch him at Atlanta, and you're like, what is going on here? And is Josh Allen really like Josh Allen doesn't have the Brady, Mahomes, and they've been down this year, but like they don't have the Brady, the Manning, the Breeze, the Roethlisberger. I think the quarterback, like, there are a lot of good young quarterbacks, but are there any outside of Mahomes? Maybe Josh Allen. Like, are there? Like, this guy's gonna, like, he's the face of the league, carries it.
Well, we thought Lamar. I think the problem with Lamar, him getting hurt, the Ravens not being that great, and then same with Joe Burrow, him getting hurt, the Bengals not being great. So those are two quarterbacks that are considered, superstars, but they just haven't really been on. Their teams aren't very good. So that's also kind of hurt the league too.
Do you think quarterback play? I mean, I'm just getting to Aneesh's point. Do you think, when he said some normalcy, do you think quarterback play has kind of gone down? Because I saw a stat the other day. I think only 5 quarterbacks this year are averaging over 250 yards compared to 2018, 2019, when you had like 20-something quarterbacks all averaging over 250 yards. So getting back to Aneesh's point about the normalcy, I don't even know if it's normalcy. It just maybe quarterback play is not as great or good as we've seen in the last 10, 15 years. It's just not there. And it's almost seemed like getting back to your point, Kwab, of that, the Josh Allen thing of like, are we saying to ourselves, well, this guy is the guy, he's good, he should be top 5 quarterback, but the quarterback play just isn't that great. Just like Aneesh said, like, you watch Josh Allen against Atlanta and some of these bad teams, you're like, huh? Like,
even the Dolphins
are going on. Right, the Dolphins, like, what's going on here? Yeah. Like, why are we not seeing the quarterback play we've seen the last 10, 15 years? And I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know what the answer to that, but the fact that we only have 5 quarterbacks this year that are averaging over 250 yards is kind of telling. When you drop from 25 to 5, that's a pretty big jump. It's not like it went from 25 to 20 or 20 to 15. That's 20, that's a 20 drop, of quarterbacks that are not performing at that level. And again, I don't know the answer. I don't know. Maybe if defenses are caught up, that can be it. Go ahead, Aneesh. I'm sorry.
I think this is normal cycles, Darian. I think, like, you look in the late 90s, 2000s, look at the 2000 Ravens defense. You're like, we haven't seen the 2000s Ravens defense in 25 years. Now, that's probably not true, because you used to see the Legion of Boom for the Seahawks in the early 2000s. They were really good, but their numbers didn't really compare to the Ravens. But their numbers were really good in relation to how good the offenses were. So you had this like era of like offenses being really good, and now like are the defenses kind of catching up again? I think of. Did you guys see the Kirk Cousins interview clip this week?
Yes, I did.
He was like in 2 minutes kind of breaking down like how what he used to be trained as, and then like how he now is like a progression reader. And I'm wondering, like, I saw someone breaking that down actually further. That was like Vic Fangio, like, introduced that in some ways, because he would play the two deep safeties, and then he would force you to like essentially go through the progression. And those types of guys are the ones that do really well against Fangio defenses, and more people are like copying that. Is like forcing the quarterback to go through 4 or 5 progressions. But the problem is you need to have such a high caliber of QB that can go through 4 or 5 progressions. And also it takes a lot of time. So it gives the defense more time to get home. And so by defenses essentially adopting this, it's like kind of neutralize those great quarterbacks, because it's forced them to progression read and take more time. And it's a lot harder. So
no, and I think that's a great point. And to what you said about it kind of being a quarterback, like a cycle, right? Like we see this every once in a while. If you go back to like the 1999 season, for example, I think Manning got drafted in 98. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but around there somewhere. So like
98. It was 98.
I would say like the best quarterbacks around that time were maybe like Favre, maybe like Kurt Warner had a couple good years, but like, for example, in 99, Steve Berline led the league in passing yards. People were like, wait, who?
Like, so Kwab, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you look at the list of people this year who are averaging over 250 yards, it's not the top 5 quarterbacks we consider. It's Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, I believe Drake May was on there, Matthew Stafford. I can't remember who the 5th one was, but it's not in the Mahomes or Lamar or Josh Allen or the Burrow. None of the guys we consider top 5 are doing it. It's all guys that we're kind of like, either like, yeah, he's cool, or he's
I've always
okay.
liked Stafford personally. I think Stafford,
right? And I think Stafford's the MVP personally this year, but it's all guys that we kind of like. I mean, Drake May is young, obviously he's new to this, but like the Dax and Jared Goff, who people have kind of always criticized, and kind of, are they really top tier guys? They're on the list, so you're kind of like, oh, okay. So to Aneesh's point, saying, you know, how Dick Fangio and how they've adopted the 2, deep safeties, and you have to go your progressions. You would think it would be the guys that we consider the top 5, not guys that are like considered the kind of the B tier or the B standard. They're the ones that are excelling in this. So again, I don't know the answer of why that is, but I don't know.
I would argue there, like, I don't have any data on this. So, but like, I feel like when I watch with my eyes, the Mahomes, the Lamars, the Josh, like, a lot of their success is off script. Like they're 3 of the greatest off script. Okay, fine. You take my first read, second read, I can make plays with my legs. Like, do I need to get to progression 3, 4, 5? Or like, if I don't hit 1 and 2, then I can run around and now it's off script ball. And the 3 are probably the greatest guys to ever do it. But Lamar's been hurt this year. Mahomes, been hurt. Like, so I don't know. It's an interesting.
Yeah, and one more thing about quarterbacks too is if you look at the younger guys in the league, there isn't anybody that's necessarily jumping off the screen to me. Like, people love or hate, like Caleb Williams. There's something there, but then some people are like, Dart maybe. JJ McCarthy.
Like, you do think the same thing about like CJ Stroud and all that too?
Stroud, I guess Stroud is still considered one of the younger guys. Yeah, he is, because I mean, this is what Stroud's 4th year, 5th year?
No, 3rd or 4th. I think it's 3rd or 4th year.
But I'm talking maybe like the 1st, 2nd year guys. There isn't the one. Well, Drake May and even Jaden Daniels. I mean, what are we going to get from him at this point? Is he going to be kind of injury prone? Is he be a flash in the pan just year 1? So, I wonder what the future looks like at the quarterback position. Of course, this upcoming class isn't necessarily highly regarded. I don't watch a lot of college football. I'm not sure how good this Fernando Mendoza kid is out of Indiana, but
it's a great interview.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the league kind of looks like moving forward, because I don't know if there's anybody, like, I don't know if I see any superstars. Like, you say Caleb Williams is going to be I don't know.
I think you just need a different level of superstardom to get back to Darian's point of like, how do you get that like extra buzz about the NFL where like a lot of casual fans not only tune in but like really pay attention. I think I don't know, like Drake May's really cool, and like he's good, but like is there an it factor about his like superstardom? Is like, oh, he could just be like a really good quarterback, but like so is Jaden Daniels really good, but like does he have superstardom to him?
It's like Bo Nix. Like, I think, you know, a lot of these guys, it's just like we think they might be good, but they're not like
watching Brady Cook or somebody, but like, I want to watch. I want to watch Manning. I want to watch Brady. Like, I want to watch that level. And I know you guys are doing the NBA, but like the NBA kind of is the same in a lot of ways.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Who's the LeBron now for the next 30 years?
Well, I'm going to slightly disagree with that. I feel like the NBA has done a great job of like, there's just always great talent. I think there's a lot of great talent right now. I personally think so. And now it doesn't mean the product that we're watching every day is the same, but I don't think the talent is gone. If you look at your Jokic's, your Giannis, SGA, you know, I can go on and on with some of these, Luka, you know. Now, some of these guys aren't necessarily defensive specialists, but these are some of the great scorers that the league has seen. So I don't think the NBA is struggling at all when it comes to stardom. I just think,
I guess my point is, Kwab, who's him, right? Who is the, like, even in the NFL at the quarterback position, who is the guy that is going to take the next, like literally carry the next 10 years? I guess we would have said a Mahomes 12 months ago, but like, dude just lost 40-6 in a Super Bowl pretty much.
Well,
he's looked more normal than half the quarterbacks this year.
Well, if we're talking particularly NBA, I mean, I don't see any reason why Shai Gilgeous can't be the guy. I mean, what other box does he need to check? He's a super efficient scorer. He's won a championship. This team looks like they're building something big. I mean, they have all this draft capital coming up, and they already won a title. So he could be the guy. Are there, you know, is it going to be a league with Wade and LeBron? And maybe not, but that's hard. LeBron is arguably, you know, the greatest. So
maybe
I don't know.
Those old people. Are we just those old people now who just romanticize the past? Like,
yeah, you were earlier. You were like, oh, I miss Brady and Peyton.
Awesome, and it's like
Breeze. I miss these guys. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we are. Yeah.
2000s was great. We just love the 2000s.
I love the 2000s NFL was awesome. The NFL is going to be a great product for a long time. It's just
and I don't want to vote for both of you. When I ask the question, I'm not saying the NFL is going in the tanker or it's going to like regress or it's going to go away. You know, it's always going to be there. But to your point, Kwab, though, I do wonder, right, or even to Aneesh's point, like who are going to be the stars? Who are going to be the guys? And because of how the NFL has kind of done everything from gaming to with the streaming and stuff, like Aneesh said, like, yeah, the casual fan, are we going to ever, I don't, maybe this year's just a one-off, right? But I hope it's not a trend of like where the NFL turns into like it's on in the background, but people don't really care about it like they did 5-10 years ago. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, yeah, it's on. I'll watch it, but it's not really piquing my interest. I'm not going to be all into it unless it's like a really good game.
Yeah, and last night,
right?
Last night's game, for example, was awesome. I'm like, damn, I don't know if everyone was, you know, how many people were watching it.
Right, I don't know if everybody was tuned in.
And it's two West Coast teams. I feel like when it's two West Coast teams, like that tends to favor people in a certain region. But I mean, these are two of the better teams in the league, and I thought it was a great game.
It's also Sam Darnold. Like, am I really tuning in? Like, is a casual fan really tuning in?
Right. Because even me last night, both of y'all, I didn't watch the whole game last night. I watched like bits and pieces of it, but
yeah.
I wasn't like, oh man, I'm glued into this. Like, I felt like 5-10 years ago, a game like that, I'm watching the whole game. I'm like, oh, I'm into this. Like, you know, it's playoff implications. I think now people are just like, all right, it's on.
But I don't think that's any different. I feel like mostly if you're a fan of a team, you watch your team, and then you're kind of a automatic casual viewer the rest of the day. Like, I know for me, I have the game on during the day, but the Steelers game, I'll be locked in and annoyed most of the time, but I'll be locked in.
I feel bad for you. You got 3 hours.
It could be worse, man. Raiders, Browns, Jets. It could be a lot worse.
Cowboys. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse.
Could be a lot worse.
But Kwab, I disagree with you a little bit because I remember when we were in college, we watched other games. Like, we were into other games. We didn't
have lives and career, like our lives were completely different.
No, I understand that. But if you're a fan, if you're like sports, like, you know how it is. Like, first of all, our wives know because we did this for a living. They know we're into the thing. Like Ellie knows when I go watch the Cowboys. She knows if I'm watching football when I want to watch a sporting event.
Right, here's you too.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah. That's a good point.
Darian tries to act like every season, I'm going to be chill this year. I don't care as much. That's the same.
No, but you know what's funny? This I obviously I've gotten upset this year, but I've been more chill this year. Probably.
Nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe
Why
it.
you say no? But you can ask my wife. Because even
I'm
like
gonna ask her to be like, Kwab, he's the same.
No,
I did ask her that.
Now. Get her on the line right now. Text her right now and see what she says.
But nah, I mean, like I said, I felt like, I mean, yes, we didn't have wives, we didn't have kids and all that stuff, but we were still like into it. Like, yo, I'm gonna watch Niners. I know that's Aneesh's team, but I'm gonna watch Niners versus the Panthers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch it because it's on Monday night or Sunday night. I'm gonna still watch it. Remember, the Panthers were good like 10, 15 years ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is just an example. I would just watch that and not be like, oh, it's the Cowboys that were on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch it because. Yeah. But I feel now. I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is because we're older and we kind of. I don't want to say we're living in the past, but it's like, yeah, I'm just not as into it. Like I'll watch here and there, but I'm not. You know, like, oh, I gotta watch it.
And I think subconsciously you're probably more into it depending on how your team's doing. So, like for example, if the Cowboys were 12-3 right now, I don't think you would be saying all these same things. Now, I might be wrong because I know if the Steelers were a 1 seed, and I'd be like, oh man, this is great, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, I disagree because even when the Cowboys had that 3 straight, they were 11 wins and stuff. I mean, yeah, they were good. I don't think I was like more into the NFL. It's just like, yeah, I'm glad the Cowboys are doing well, but I think I was just more of like still a casual fan. Like, oh yeah, I'll watch, Packers, Bears. I know it's a known rivalry, but I'll have it on. But I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I'm watching this. Where I felt like remember, and when I met you, Kwab, the Cowboys were horrible. Like remember they had that 3 year straight. That was the Campo years. So I was still into the NFL. I was still like really watching. Yeah, they were awful. So like. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I disagree with you a little bit. It depends on how your team's doing because if you're into the league, you're into it. You know what I mean? Like you just are. It's just that's who you are. You're I know Aneesh before the podcast was talking about like soccer. Like I don't watch soccer, but I'm sure you're into it, Aneesh, right? No matter what, whoever I don't know who your team is.
I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, guys. This is we call him Rex from Toy Story, but he's an Arsenal mascot. Right. I am more into it when Arsenal's really good because
okay.
Yeah, but like the NFL is tricky. I feel like the NFL is tricky. Like even when so you say I'm a Niners fan, I'm actually not a Niners fan anymore. I think I've morphed more into the casual viewership of like I care about my fantasy team. I care about my. I say I'm Team Green. I want my wallet to do well.
Team Green.
Right. I love betting on players to score against the 49ers because it's like really easy. Their defense sucks. But like when I was a 49ers fan, like when it was the Seahawks, like was I watching? I was watching because it was Breeze that was on, Brady was on,
right.
That was late Manning. Like I was watching again those names, whereas like now, like say the 49ers are good. Like, oh yeah, I'm really tuning in to watch Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts stink it up for 3.5 quarters, and
that's good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kamar kind of like walk around at this
I want to say he's good. Obviously, look.
Why?
This is not to say, okay, look.
Are you related to him?
No. Look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, yeah, I'm a black man, so I'm always going to root for the black quarterback, right? No matter what. I don't care. I want them to be successful because I know how it was for them and how they've been either over criticized or remember that statement that Newt Gingrich made like in the early 2000s that black quarterbacks are not smart. So I'm always going to root for the black quarterback. You don't remember that statement? Yeah, he made that statement. I'll send it to you when we're done.
I remember the dude Rush Limbaugh.
I'm sorry, Rush Limbaugh said it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm missing him there. I don't be in politics like that. But anyway, what I'm saying is to the fact of like I'm always going to root for the black quarterback to do well. So yes, yeah, I want them to be good, but of course, like Kwab knows I'll always keep it real. Like yeah, he's not good, or he's
Yeah, you always do.
yeah. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it just because I want them to be good, but yeah, I mean, as far as Jalen Hurts, I mean, it's like I want to say like, yeah, he should be a top 5 quarterback. He just won a Super Bowl, but then it's
Yeah,
like he has these games where I'm just like scratching my head, like, what was
it's so
that? Like,
pedestrian. It's like, ugh.
yeah, like
Yeah, it's
very
like,
basic.
yeah, like
Mm.
again, maybe I'm romanticizing the past, and maybe we'll, as everyone
Mhm.
grows older, they just romanticize what they think is the greatest period of their life. But I'm like, man, like I just look around, I'm like, there's Hertz and Dak and Goff and Baker and Darnold
Yeah.
and okay, Allen's cool, but then there's like
I guess like
old
love. I guess like
Rodgers,
love is
Daniel
cool. I
Jones,
guess love is
CJ
fine.
Stroud, Bo. Like, am I really supposed to get that excited for like Bo Nix versus Daniel Jones?
You guys like Jordan Love?
Oh,
Yeah, I think. I mean,
really?
he has
It's
the
kind of a
potential to be good.
harsh
he's,
reaction.
he's just fine. He's fine. Like he's a little Jalen Hurts, right? Like you watch it.
He's not as basic. Nah,
Okay,
Jalen Hurts be like,
Now, I will say this: I remember Aneesh has a very high standard for quarterback, and I get it because he just named the Brady's, the Mannings, the Breeds. You know what I mean? I get it because they were so great, and I get the high standard. So I think when you're him comparing them to these guys now, well, of course, like we're not going to be like, oh man, Bo Nix versus Daniel Jones. Yeah, we're not going to be into that. Whereas like Manning, Brady,
Anish also has his guys. He has guys he roots for a little harder. He was always a big like he likes Justin Herbert now. He was a big Andrew. He's a big
I'm a Justin Herbert guy.
He was a big Andrew Luck guy, and Andrew Luck was actually a really good quarterback. At some point.
He was.
Yeah, like, Andrew Luck was like quarterback 8, 9, or 10, right? And now quarterback 8, 9, or 10 is Dak.
Or like Baker, I guess it's
Baker,
yeah.
Goff. Like you're like, would I rather watch Andrew Luck and 10 or like?
Okay, he's not good.
No, please don't put 2 in there. I just got benched.
No, I would say there's a lot
for no one. For like
Quinn Ewers, I don't know who that is.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers, whatever his name is. Like I was like, who is that?
We're watching Quinn Ewers versus like Burrow. Like Burrow's really good, but he's in this weird headspace this week. So it's like,
what's going on with him?
So it's like we're watching Ewers and Burrow, who's like.
I hate to say with the Burrow thing, it's reminding me, it's giving me a lot of Andrew Luck vibes. Like a lot of like, don't be surprised if before the season starts next year, he says, "Hey, I'm retiring."
And he got his page, he got his money. So
he did. Because I'm gonna tell you this: I remember, Kwab, we were at your apartment. Remember, we were like in total shock when Andrew Luck was shocked.
Everybody was shocked. Yeah.
But I think nowadays we're going to see a lot more quarterback. Maybe not a lot more, but we will see it over time that quarterbacks who are in Joe Burrow and Andrew Luck situation say like, "Yeah, I'm good. It's just not worth it. Like I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not about to have concussions and I can't play with my kids and be with my wife later on in life." I think we're going to see more of that. They're going to be they're more self-aware and taking care of themselves and being the person that they are than, oh yeah, I care about the team and being this great quarterback. They're like, nah, I care about me first. So I'm out. You know what I mean? I think we're going to see that a lot more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do, because we, like you said, we don't see it that often. Maybe we will. I think Burrow is just frustrations with the organization being bad, and
he's just frustrated. It's been bad for a long time.
Yeah, and he can't get out of there. Like they're not going to trade him. They're not trading him.
Right.
It's going to be a Carson Palmer situation all over again, if anything, which was very messy, caused him to retire. Yeah, and the Bengals are they're not an organization that likes to spend money. So they're not like they did nothing to address the defense. Like that's your biggest weakness. And in hindsight, maybe not signing Trey Hendrickson was the right idea. He's been kind of banged up all year, but yeah, I don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on, fellas. We'll talk a couple potential playoff teams. I'm curious what you guys think. Now, I didn't go with any of the obvious, although there isn't a lot of obvious this year anyway. Like, you could name any team, and I could be like, oh, they might be one and done, or oh, they could get to the Super Bowl, but we'll see. But I'm going to name a couple of teams. I just want you guys to simply tell me how far you think they can get in the playoffs, whether it's one and done or Super Bowl. Just best case scenario. All right. Okay. I'm gonna start with a team I find very fascinating this year. I probably like them a little better than y'all do. I'll start with you on this one, Darian. Jaguars. Are you a believer? How far do you think they can get?
like every year, okay, the year I picked them to be good, they're awful. Then the year I'm like, nah, okay, I'm done with them. Then they're good. So I really have no idea. Now, if you're asking me about playoffs, they can be either one and done, maybe go to the divisional round. I don't see them going to no AFC Championship game, but they can be one and done, maybe win a playoff game. I can't put my finger on Trevor Lawrence. Like, I thought the dude was going to be
another guy. Like, do I really get excited watching?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a generational quarterback. I thought he was going to be that guy. Like, when we were going to have that conversation of top 5 every year.
That was the hype coming out,
right? And then it's just like I don't see it. It's like he sometimes I feel like he goes through the motions and he just doesn't. Sometimes you feel like he doesn't care. You watch him, you're like, do you really want to play football? Like, you know what I mean?
Like, when it looks bad, it's really bad.
That's he just kind of just very nonchalant, like, I'm cool, like, whatever. But so I would say my take on the Jags is either one and done, maybe win a playoff game. That's as much as I see.
Okay, but you're leaning more towards one and done.
Yes, I'm leaning towards more one. Even though I do like their defense a lot, but
that's the difference. And they have a different coach. I think that's another thing too. Like, that needs to get pointed out more. It's not the same leadership, and we know leadership matters at this point.
It does. So. And I was shocked with the Doug Peterson stuff. I still don't. That still baffles me with that. You know what I mean? I know the first year was great.
Yeah, they just fell off.
Yeah, it just baffled me. But yeah, I would say I'm leaning more towards one and done. Yeah, kind of thing.
Don't they play at Denver this week?
They do. That's a big game.
Why is Denver always at home? I feel like
Denver's always at home. Every week. Hell, at Mile High. Like, again?
That's because if they're not at Mile High, they're playing like 1 o'clock somewhere irrelevant and nobody's tuning in for Bo Nix. Or they're playing
they're playing the Raiders, or they're playing the Raiders that nobody cares about.
It's like, nobody. Man, right now, 3 versus 6 would be Jags Bills. They'd be one and done against the Bills, right?
Yeah, I like the Bills.
Maybe, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm going to say they win a playoff game. And the reason is because...
One. They've done it recently, so...
The reason I'm going to say they win one is just because I do think it is... When they're good, there's something really weird for teams, I think, going to Duval. And then you get to these, like, results where, like, whoa, they beat that team at home? Like, they kind of killed them? Like, played well against Kansas City, played against the Colts. Like, I just feel like it's going to be a really wild 4 o'clock Saturday wild card game down in Duval. Like, I feel like they're going to win one just because of the home.
Yeah. And I don't know if this stat still holds after the Thursday night game with the Seahawks and Rams, but there only one team in the league had scored over 25 points at least 11 times, and it was the Jags. So they've been doing some things pretty well this year. I think, and we all do this, right? We there's a stigma about a team, and we stick with the stigma. And I remember telling both of you guys, like, I don't know about the Chiefs this year. I'm not really feeling it. Now it ended up happening. Like, well, they actually weren't that great. And I say that to say, like, let's not always think, like, well, the Jags, they're the Jags. Well, they may get to the title game. I'm calling it.
Let me say something. You're my boy, Kwab, but you've been saying that about the Chiefs the last 2-3 years that they weren't good. And I told you last year. I told you the year before. They're still going to the Super Bowl.
But you also told me this year. So
I did. You're right. And you're right. And it goes back to your point of, like, we have the stigma about the team. So you think
we all naturally
every year. Mm-hmm. But it also, you can't every year just say, okay, well, I'm not saying you hedge your bets, and I'm not saying you do that, but it's like you can't say, oh, okay, I still don't think this is the year they're going to be good.
But I don't think the Chiefs were that good last year.
No, right. But I told you they were going to the Super Bowl. You thought they weren't even going to the Super Bowl, and I said they're going to.
I did not think they would.
I was on the show for that one, and I was like, roll the tape. You got Quab's like trying to like bury the Chiefs. I'm like, they're not good. They're not. I'm like, dude. I remember saying, I said, Kwab, in the playoffs, Chiefs Bills, who would you pick to win? You're like, oh, probably the Chiefs. Yeah, they won.
Yeah, right.
Because Aneesh, he was saying that the 2 years ago when they had no receivers, I told him, I was like, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And he was like, no way they're going to win. I'm like,
once again, y'all are bringing up old stuff. Can we talk current Chiefs? Okay, but
the actual playoff game. I'm on record. Fine.
Yeah, I'll go divisional round as their cap. Obviously matchups matter, but I feel like whoever they get at home, like I'm also not a believer the Bills are just gonna. The Bills have the perfect path now NFL doesn't work that way, man.
The Bills
Because a
are
lot of
very
these
flawed. They're very flawed.
very flawed. But that the thing is, a lot of these teams are. Although Denver, people don't want to jump on Denver, and I'm not going to say I don't get it, but damn, man, that team does a lot of things well. They do a lot of things well. So,
but I'll say complete team in the AFC.
And Knicks has actually played very well in fourth quarters this year. I don't think enough people talk about how clutch he's been. Yeah,
it's on him, right?
It's on him.
He's the missing piece.
Yeah, it's on him. Imagine if that team had oh my god, like an actual star quarterback. They'd be awesome.
I don't even know who that is now, but
you're right.
Right, it's on Bo, right? They've got a very reputable defense who's played elite levels for many games.
Yeah.
Good enough receivers, great offensive head coach.
Yeah.
RJ Harvey's playing well. Good offensive line. It's on Bo.
Yeah, it's on Bo.
And that's probably the nicest. That is, you can't say that about the Pats. You can't say that about the Jags. Definitely not the Steelers. Chargers. It's really just they're just Bo away, right?
Yeah.
And not many teams I think can say we're only a pretty good mediocre quarterback playing really good for a few games from reaching the Super Bowl.
All right. What about the Bears? I'll start with you on this one, Aneesh.
Oh, they're not going to make the playoffs.
What if the Bears make the playoffs?
Yeah, we're talking playoff teams, right?
Yeah. So obviously these are teams that could potentially make it, though.
Oh, you don't think the Bears will make the playoffs at all?
No.
There's a path for them not to make it. I'm surprised.
If they don't win this week, they're down to the 7, and then I think they have to beat the Lions in a game, and then it's really between Lions and Bears. I'm going to say
you may have an 11-win team not make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lions make the playoffs, not the Bears.
Well, how about you, Darian?
I do think the Bears make the playoffs. Now, will they win a playoff game? Be Caleb's first start in the playoffs and all that. I mean, they may not have a home game because if they have to go on the road, they're definitely one and done. Now
if they beat the Packers this weekend. They have a good chance. Well, they're probably going to win the North, or they have a good shot to win.
Because quiet as kept. I don't care what anybody says. The Micah Parsons injury in the Packers is huge. You know what I mean?
Anybody denies that.
But some people have been this week been trying to act like, oh no, they're still fine. It's no. That's a huge injury, right? So I wouldn't be shocked. I actually, in the opposite of Aneesh, I think the Packers may not make the playoffs because of Micah Parsons not. Because Micah Parsons is their closer. He has been this whole season. When they needed that big stop, when they were losing to the Cardinals, he was the one 2 sacks in a row, right? He's that guy. So you don't have that guy now. So what happens when you get into those tight games, even with a team that's you're supposed to beat, and he's not there? What happens? So I'm the opposite. I think the Packers are vulnerable more of not making the playoffs than the Bears are. But getting back to the Bears, if you're asking me if they make the playoffs, what would they be? I'm a lean closer to one and done.
Yeah, I'm going to say one and done as well. Mm-hmm. They also do some things well. They have a pretty good running game. This Kyle Manung guy has been a nice addition for them. Defense has played a lot better, and I think Ben Johnson is arguably coach of the year. I think we can easily say that he's a strong candidate.
Right.
I just don't. I feel like Caleb first playoff game. He's still way too inconsistent as a passer. I mean, his percentage isn't great. I don't see them getting past the first round if they make the playoffs, which I think they will. I don't know if the Lions do, because I think the Lions beat the Steelers this weekend, but the Lions still have do they beat the Bears? I don't know. The NFC North is going to be very intriguing going down this last stretch here. All right, next team I'll ask you guys about is the Chargers. Aneesh, I'll start with you on this one. Furthest you can see the Chargers getting. It's another tricky one.
Well, right now they're the 5 that play the Steelers. They definitely beat the Steelers. I'm not even everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just taking a shot at Kwab." Kwab knows from day. I have a ticket. I have a ticket on the Steelers losing in the wild card round. It just happens every year. So remember
what I said about not sticking to.
Yeah, it happens every year. I'm gonna go they're one and done. I think there's something real about
not every team one and done. Who's gonna make the Super Bowl?
No, he had the Jaguars going to the next one. Yeah.
I think the Chargers are one and done. I think there's something real about the mental block that's in Justin Herbert's head about like not being able to win like a playoff game. I also think they're sneaky, really banged up where you don't want to be banged up, and that's your
Well, I was going to mention that. But what about their offensive line? They've missed
really banged up.
It's really bad.
This happens to it. Somehow happens to the Chargers every year, where you're like, you see them the first 2 or 3 weeks, and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're different this year, right? Like they're really good. Herbert looks really good, and then like all this, they're like somehow the most injured team in the league every single year, and everyone's hurt all the time. Herbert's hurt, offensive line gets hurt, running backs get hurt. You know, like, how does everyone get hurt all the time? And I think that impacts them. And then they're just not as sexy at the end of it. And I don't think there's nothing sexy about them the last like 6 to 8 weeks. And I think that catch up to you in a big game if you go on the road.
What about you, D?
Yeah, like I mean, I was just going to mention just the injuries, like the banged up offense. I mean, Justin Herbert, I think, has played with like 7 different offensive linemen, starters or something like that this year. Yeah, which is crazy. And then, in fact, I know it's not his throwing hand, but I guess he had a fracture. Yeah, and then I mean, I know they won the game. What was that Monday night against the Eagles? But they didn't look good. I was like, it's like they just won out of default. Like,
neither team looked good at all.
The Eagles just didn't look they just looked worse, and then the Chargers didn't look good. So I was just like, yeah, they kind of won that game by default. Like, now listen, obviously I don't think the Cowboys are good this year, but I would not be surprised if even the Cowboys like beat them this week. I'd be like, oh, okay, like I can see that because they just are banged up. Like Aneesh said, they're banged up. And okay, maybe this is a hot take, but maybe it's not. I'm just not. I don't see the hype with Harbaugh. I'm not. I mean, I've always thought he's kind of overrated.
Darren, are you blind?
Say it again.
You losing your eyesight? What do you not see?
He takes every team to the playoffs, bro. Every year.
Yeah, but okay.
Last year, people are like, oh, he's getting this hype. The Chargers haven't been that good. Took him to the playoffs year 1. He's about to take them to the playoffs again. He took the Niners. He turned around the Niners. I don't get why you don't like him. I don't get it.
Well, with the Niners, I thought he had a lot of like talent. Like the Niners, he
gotta do something with the talent.
But he also caught like a lightning in the bottle with Kaepernick. Let's be honest. Like
he took Alex Smith to the playoffs.
He did. But let me see. My thing is this: like after a while, though, like that's fine. You're taking teams to the playoffs and you're turning. I mean, let's be real. It's not a big upgrade from Brandon Staley, who was awful, to come in and
big upgrade.
I mean, what I'm saying is like it's not like I could have probably put an average coach in there and he would have done better than Brandon Staley. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like Brandon Staley was awful, so it's not like, oh my god, you went from Parcells and now you got Harbaugh or something like that. You're getting. I mean, Harbaugh's cool. I think he's a good coach, but I'm not like again. Let's say he does like they go to the playoffs and they're one and done. Like okay, like they're one and done again. Like great, he's turned around the organization. They're still not doing anything. Herbert still hasn't won a playoff game. When are we going to just start talking about? Okay, like yeah, he's a good coach, but is he a guy that can take you to the Super Bowl? Like he took the Niners because again they had a lot of talent and he caught lightning in a bottle with Kaepernick. Yes, I know he took Alex Smith to the playoffs. He's had situations where he's been in great situations. Like oh okay, look who he's had. Like where with the Chargers, I mean they have some talent. They're not the most talented team. And yeah, I'll give him a compliment for getting them to the playoffs, but what are you doing once you get in there after a while? Like, we can't keep saying every year, oh, he's taking them to the playoffs. All right, but he ain't doing nothing. So,
he's also won a national title. Like, he has won at this point.
At a very high-pressure program, man.
But it's college. Yeah, I'm talking about the NFL. Yeah, I'm not taking away what he did in college. That's college football. Yeah, a lot of guys are great in college, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the NFL. Like, I know he took the Niners that 1 year to the Super Bowl. Great. It was a great run. I mean, I'm just, after that, I mean, with the year, I know the year with Alex Smith, he took him to the NFC Championship. He's been to a couple, like I said, the Niners, he had talent. So I'm not surprised that he took him, like, more than one time to the championship game.
But he's the only coach in our lifetime, Darian, that can play, whose team can play in a Super Bowl in the NFL, and he can also coach a team to the national championship in college. There's not a lot of guys who have been able to.
Didn't Pete do that?
Pete Carroll.
Pete's
Yeah.
enough. Pete's
Yeah,
second.
Pete Carroll did it. And then look at Pete now. Like, Pete now is not great. You know
But
what I
look
mean?
at like Urban
Yeah,
Meyer.
but the Raiders are just awful.
I
Yeah,
get
but, like,
that.
look at like the Urban Meyers, the Steve Spurriers, the Nick Saban.
Right, the Nick Sabans.
Like,
Yeah, no, I give you that.
I
give
think
you
it's
that.
very hard to year after year have your team competing, right, 10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, well, Aneesh, there's only been 4 coaches I think ever have won a national championship in the Super Bowl. That's Carroll, Switzer, Jimmy Johnson, or maybe only 3. I don't know, but it's less than 5. So I mean, it's not a lot. So
It's hard to do.
I get what you're saying, but he also hasn't won. He's won a national championship, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet in the NFL. So I'm not saying that may never happen, but I'm just going off of just the present and now. So he's been to the Chargers, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, he made them a playoff team. Okay, so what are we doing to get beyond that though? Like for me, like when the Cowboys make the playoffs, yeah, it's cool, but I want them to win a playoff game. I want them to get to the championship game at least. I'm not like, oh my God, you made the playoffs, great. I mean, maybe for other organizations that's a big deal, and maybe for the Chargers fans that's a big deal. But for certain organizations, just getting to the playoffs is not like an accomplishment. It's like, oh, okay, you got to the playoffs. What did you do?
Yeah, I think with the Chargers, I'll say divisional round only because what's their draw? Like if they have to go to Pittsburgh, I think they can beat Pittsburgh. Like I think Pittsburgh is playing a little better, but I still don't think they're a team that defensively they're just too inconsistent. But we'll talk about them a little later. But I'll go divisional round with the Chargers. I think if their running game is going, which I like Kamani Vidal, I like Amarion Hampton, like if they can get that run game going, even with the banged up O-line, and their defense has been playing really well. I mean, Derwin James has been playing.
I'll give you that. Their defense is good.
Yeah, I'll give them a little bit more props.
That's one thing I will give credit to Harbaugh. Yeah. Like all his teams are always great defensively. Yeah. Oh, that's you're getting that when you get him. Like he's going to turn around the defense.
And he's not a defensive guy, which is cool.
And that's crazy, right? And if he has talent on the D, and they already have like a lot of talent, they're going to be very good. Because that's how he was with the Niners. They had Patrick Willis. They had all these guys. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's he. I mean, they already had talent. It was just like he had to bring it out of them. So I will give him that credit.
I'll go with just 2 more real quick. What about the Seahawks, Darian? I'll start with you on this one.
It's interesting. It's like one. I don't like Darnold, but I like the team. So I think they have a potential to get to the NFC Championship game. Potential. So I do think they at least win a playoff game.
You don't see Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's tough because I don't know if Darnold can get you to the Super Bowl. But that defense is really good. I like the coach.
What if they don't need him to? What if they're just like a run game? Or
coach? Yeah, I like the coach. I like everything else besides the quarterback position, which is obviously the most important. But I do think they at least win a playoff game and potentially can get to the NFC Championship game. Super Bowl, they can probably get there. I don't know if they can win it, but I wouldn't be so shocked if they got there. You know, I mean, we saw what they did last night, but Darnold to me is the X factor. He's the Achilles heel, or he's going to be the weakest link if they, whatever they do, if they don't get there.
So you're not a Darnold guy.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I think he had a really, Kevin O'Connell brought out of him a really great year. And I mean, he's had a good year this year. Not the year he had the year before, but he's had a good year. But I don't know if he's good enough to, hey, put the team on my back and I can get y'all to the bowl and I'm winning it. No, I don't see that. No.
What do you think, Aneesh?
I think you just look at the NFC and you're like, all right, the 2 seeds the Bears, the 3 seeds, the 4 seeds the Bucks or the Panthers.
Yeah.
The 6 seeds the Niners, who have no defense left.
No.
7 seed is the Packers, who have just lost Micah Parsons.
Right.
Like, I think by default, yeah, kind of what Darian said. Maybe the title game.
The rough thing is they could play the Rams in the divisional round, and nobody's talking about it yesterday because the Rams still put up 500 and they put up 1,000 yards of offense, right? Group had 500.
Stafford is balling this year. I think he's.
He looks great. He looks great.
Devontae Adams does change the offense.
He does.
And primarily around the first 2 drives with the Rams kicked field goals, you could kind of tell they missed Devontae down there. And Devontae, I think now as I've seen him more, I'm like, he's an elite red zone threat. He's like an elite running back, right? Where you're like, oh, just give the ball to LT and he's going to get in from like 1 to 2 to 3 yards. And like, if you watch Devontae Adams run routes inside the 5-yard line, it's like a work of art. And so I think they really missed him yesterday, and I think he's the difference. But I think they'll play each other. They might play each other in divisional rounds. So like, I think the Rams beat them though in whichever round, divisional or. But like, I don't think the other teams are like. I don't know, like the Eagles going west, like hurts. Like I'm going to say the only team that can beat them is the Rams, whether it's in the divisional or it's in the. I think the Rams are the Super Bowl representative in the NFC.
Yeah, I kind of.
That's not bold.
That's not that bold, but. Are they going to have to win all these road games like that? I don't. Even if it's not a great. There's not a great slate of teams in the NFC. It's going to be hard to win 3 road games to get there. It's going to be hard.
Okay, Panthers, Bucks. Okay, like they've already lost the Panthers, I guess, once in Carolina.
I forgot the Panthers. The Panthers are weird. I forgot
they won that. Well, they both just lost to the Saints in back-to-back weeks. So the Bucks lost the previous week, and then the Panthers won. Panthers lost to the Saints this week.
What does that say about the Saints then?
Yeah, the Saints getting better. I thought they wouldn't get this.
What's his name? Kellen Moore is doing a good job down there.
With what he's got. He's got nothing.
With what he's got. Like, I don't think anyone's out on Tyler Shuck, right? And a lot of people were like, why did they draft Tyler Shuck?
Yeah, he actually hasn't been bad at all. Yeah.
And he's a big guy. He can move.
Yeah.
Throwing well. They've got Olave. Like, you know, like they're competitive. Defense is competitive. So
and
like,
no one says hot seat with Kellen Moore. People are like,
he's in his first year.
Well, that was Aaron Glenn, but you hear it with him.
But that's an awful organization, though. They're also a horrible organization.
You can see New Orleans building, right? You can see them getting better October versus September, November versus October. They drafted a young quarterback. Like, they're not getting blown. Whatever happened to the Jets yesterday, where they gave up like 80 points to the Jags in 3 quarters, was like, you don't see that happening to the Saints, right? So, you know, I think the Rams, the way it sets up is the Rams might play again them. I just think the Rams beat them. I just think the Rams are better than them. I think I
won that game. Yeah,
I left yesterday and I was like, the Rams should have won that game.
Remember the play before he scored the 2 things. Remember they tipped that ball. If that defensive back just catches it, he let it drop to the ground. He catches it. The game is over. Yeah, the Rams win the game.
So you'll never see a play like that again, man. That 2-point conversion was insane.
Right. So the funny thing is, if that was 4th and goal, because you can't, for some reason, you can advance a fumble on a 2-point conversion, but you can't. So on 4th and goal, if that was 4th and goal, only Sam Darnold could advance it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But because it was a 2-point conversion, anybody can advance it. Like, it actually is like a loophole.
Kind of a weird rule, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. But like, I think the Rams beat them. So, like, I don't know. I'll say the Seahawks win a game, but I'm assuming they're not playing the Rams. Like, I think the Seahawks will beat the other 5 teams.
Yeah. Right, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree.
I just don't think they'll beat the Rams again.
I agree, yeah.
All right, last team we'll do. Anish, I'll start with you, Steelers. I guess you already said one and done.
Yeah, they're done.
Well, give an explanation. Don't just say because I bet it. Give a real... like, that's the thing. Like, but real quick, I gotta say something real quick. It as much as I love the group text me and Nish and our other dear friend Meagle have, I can't have real conversations about my team because they just always, they're not good. I'm like, well, they're not a terrible team. Like, they do some things. Well, like, they can't give Aaron Rodgers prostrate, man. That won't happen. Like, I've never even heard them say, like, wow, that was actually a nice throw by him. He's actually been playing a lot better. He played great. It's the Dolphins. They stink. But he played great against the Dolphins. And you can actually tell over the last few weeks, like, he's actually looked pretty good. The running game has looked a lot better. But with all that said, back to you. Explain why they're going to be one and done.
Have you watched football the last, decade?
Unfortunately, I have to. I do. But I'm not a trends guy. Just because something happened last year, it don't mean it's going to happen this year. Ugh.
I'm sure you can go take your Steelers talk to some group thread and you guys could really entertain yourself with how good Rodgers looks on a regular season Monday Night Football game in week 16. Just me and Mike Eagle just don't have any of it. We just don't need this. The Steelers from day one, I can tell you how it's going to work. They're going to win 9 to 10 games. Half the games they'll want to fire Mike Tomlin. The other half they'll just be quiet. and then you come to a playoff game, it doesn't matter where it is, it'll probably be in Pittsburgh. They could play like the Chargers, a nice California, like warm weather team outside, and they'll just lose the game. So like, I just
You know who you described, Aneesh? You also just described the Dallas Cowboys to an extent. Like, they're going to win 11 games. They're going to go to the playoffs and lose. Maybe that 1 year they get past the first round, they'll be like, oh, they beat the Bucks. Oh, they beat the Lions. Like, oh, wow. So you just described the Cowboys and probably a lot of other teams like that you just described.
Yeah, I think my thing with the Steelers is I think there's a dark side of them that comes out against good opponents, not named the Baltimore Ravens. And I think this has happened for like many years. Where they're just not consistent enough on offense. They haven't been for
long time,
5-6 years. I still think
that
probably Rodgers. I think they can look ugly and like they're still kind of like a one-trick pony with DK Metcalf. They're trying to hide a lot of it by like playing the 3 tight ends.
Yeah, I always say they should have kept Pickens, but that's me. But you know,
yeah, he was a headache though. But like they don't run the ball as much as they probably should because of Rodgers and his ego. Defensively, almost they like kind of look better without TJ Watt last week, which was weird. So they've got like a TJ Watt
that's the offseason move they probably should have made. But,
yeah, they've got a TJ Watt problem, which is weird to say because he's been so good for so long.
Yeah.
So I just think there's just a lot of holes on both sides of the ball that make them pretty consistent year to year. Like, I know you don't want to look, but like they're pretty consistent year to year. They're very competitive. They'll win your 8-9 games, never bad, never great. But I think that catches up to you in the playoffs.
I agree. What do you think, Darren?
Yeah, you know, man, I've always kept it real with you, bro. Like, we have our group texts. I know not with them, but, you know, we have our group texts. And I just tell you, it really just depends on the matchup with me, with the Steelers. I don't know the rundown of where you guys are as far as the seeding, who you play. I will say you probably guys are the weaker of the division leaders. Like, I would trust.
Probably the weakest.
Yeah, you're probably the weakest. Like, I would trust, obviously, like the Patriots or I think the Jags or.
Oh man, you know it's bad when people trust the Jags more than you.
Or I would trust like, you know, obviously Denver, which is not hard to trust. Like, I would trust them over you guys, you know, advancing with home field. Yeah, it's just really a matchup, man. I don't know who you guys will end up playing, but like I can't see you guys beating the Bills.
What if the Chargers, Darian? What if it's Chargers at Steelers?
Yeah, I can actually see them beating the Chargers because I don't like the Chargers as much as you guys like them. I
love the Chargers either. I think
I think the offensive line. I think like that offensive line, dude. You have like go back to when Mahomes lost that Super Bowl against the Bucks. Like that was when it hit me. It had an epiphany. Like you have to have an offensive line to win in this league and in the playoffs. Like if your offensive line is messed up at any point, it's just a hindrance. Like it's very hard to win. So if they play the Chargers, I mean. In Pittsburgh, I like Pittsburgh. Like, I think they win a playoff game. Now, when we get beyond that, when you're talking about, can they beat the Patriots and can they beat the Broncos? Probably not. And if they had to play like the Bills in the first round, no, probably not either. But can they beat even like a Texans team? Like, if the Texans get in the wild card, yeah, they can beat the Texans.
Oh man, the Texans could be a Super Bowl team. I might be.
I think they can, but but sometimes they also look like. The Texans are weird. Like I've seen them look like a playoff team. I also seen them look like what was that? You know what I mean?
Mostly the offense is what looks bad,
right? Like Schrock is like I'm like, what was that? Like so I can see teams that are more inconsistent. I can see the Steelers beating them, but against the obvious like the Patriots and the Broncos and the Bills, probably not. But some of those other teams, if they're at home and if they're playing well, if the Steelers are playing well, they could beat them. They could beat them.
I think one thing you two can, I hope, admit about me is I'm not some delusional Steeler fan. In fact, the whole season, Aneesh, I always tell you, like, I don't think we're that good. I'm also...
You try to keep it real.
Yeah.
Like, you keep it real about the Steelers.
Oh, and Darian knows, even when they're good, so they're like, they're not as good as you.
Remember the year Aneesh, they were 11-1. He kept telling me every week, he's like, I'm not believing.
They're 11-0. I'm like, they're not that good.
He's like, yeah, no, I'm not believing they're gonna do anything.
No, but you're also a fan in the sense of you care about talking about the week, right? Like I do, like for me now with Arsenal, I do like every game. I'm like, okay, like let me break it down. What happened? Did we look good? Did we not look good? What is this in the context of the whole year? What does that mean? Right? Like, and you can have those conversations in certain groups, but like, you know, like, so that's just what you do, Kwab. You're like, all right, I watched the game for 3 hours. Like, were we good? Were we not good? Was Rodgers, like, you're breaking everything down, and then you're like, what does this mean in the overall context? You're very realistic to it, but like, yeah, like, do I really care? Like, I don't really care about the Steelers like week to week. Like,
well, that's true.
Like,
yeah, it's all about
right? Yeah. I'm more like, okay, like, what does this mean for the team
like
in the context of the whole year, right? The big picture. Because I'm a more than a casual NFL fan, but like, right, like I don't care about any team week to week, but you do.
But I will say this: I remember there was a point last season, and this must have been hard for you to say. I won't stick on this too long, but I remember last season when they were like 10-3 with Russell Wilson, and you're like, I don't know, man, are they actually like kind of decent? Like, could they actually? And I remember Eagle was like, no, I'm still not sold. Obviously, he ended up being right, but I bring that up to say, like, for me, I kind of take things on a week-to-week basis. Like, I don't see them beating Detroit. If they beat Detroit and it's like, oh, wow, then I still can say, well, they're still, I mean, can't I change my mind? Like, oh, still, that was a big win and as a big underdog.
Do you think they make the playoffs?
There's a part of me that wants to say no, just because, like, and you guys, hopefully you guys know what I mean by this. The Ravens, for example, are a team that's mostly favored every week, regardless of what they did the week before, because there's still the Lamar Jackson factor. We know, whether you like Lamar or not as a player, we know that any week he can go insane. And that's always the fear in the back of your head. Like, all right, we got the regardless of what the Steelers do the next 2 weeks, if they win week 18 in Pittsburgh against the Ravens, they make the playoffs. Do I want it to come down to that? No. Because for some reason, I think, well, crap, Lamar had one of those games. They went off.
Yeah, and I'll admit, too, I've made that mistake with Lamar because
since so you're saying it's a mistake that we're making by always assuming that he'll. I think he's the scariest quarterback in the argument.
Yeah, so I made that mistake, and I'm talking more, guys, from a betting standpoint, right? Because that'll kill you. Like, dog, he doesn't look good, so I'm not betting him to beat, this team or whatever, right? And you're right, and I've been proven wrong sometimes where he just goes completely nuts. Yeah. You're like, well, what was that 2 weeks ago? You know what I mean? So you're right. He is like probably the most scariest quarterback because it's just an unknown. You don't know what you're going to get week to week with him, right? Because we can sit up here and say, yeah, he can ball out, but then you can get a dud, and you're like, what the heck was that? Like,
Aneesh, let me ask you something. Like, I don't know your full thoughts on if you agree with what we're saying, but like, the Ravens are a team. If they make the playoffs, would you be shocked if they beat anyone? Probably not. Like, if they're playing at their best, which I don't even know what their best looks like anymore. But if Derrick Henry's balling and Lamar's balling, who can't they beat? I'm not going to say they can't beat the
I would say if you poll the other 6 teams, who would they want in the playoffs, the Steelers or the Ravens? I'm pretty sure all 6
for 6.
Yeah, 6 for 6. I agree with that.
I would much rather play the Steelers than the Ravens.
I think people want, like, I'm pretty sure a little bit of the teams around the league exhaled when the Chiefs took a nosedive the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
right? Like,
for sure.
It's just nice not to see Patrick Mahomes I'd rather see Justin Herbert and the Chargers in my building than Patrick 100%. Mahomes in my building.
Right.
And I think the same thing with the Ravens. Like the difference is, I do think if the Ravens get in, everyone's going to be like, can this be the dark horse that makes the run? I don't know if the Ravens are good enough this year to be that dark horse. That's going to be the narrative if they get in, but like, I don't think they're good enough.
Are we losing Aneesh a little bit? Sorry, Aneesh, you're kind of breaking up. I don't know if you're noticing too, Darian.
No, yeah, I am too. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, you guys hear me now?
You're good now.
Yeah.
No, all I was saying is, like, if the Ravens get in, the narrative is going to be like, oh, the Ravens are going to be the dark horse that everyone's going to pick to make the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't see it. I don't think I know we're like waiting for Lamar. Oh, he can go off, but like, isn't he? I think he's hurt.
He is. He's not. Something ain't right.
Something's not right with him. And also, the NFL is a year-to-year league. You need a lot of momentum. Last year, him and Josh Allen had so much momentum. they neither of them had that much momentum this year.
No.
It's too
I agree with that.
So,
Yeah,
Colin, you think they make it?
I'm gonna say yeah, they do. I think because I think the Ravens are gonna slip up somewhere. For example, the Ravens got the Patriots, who they probably will beat, but we'll see. They have the Packers still, and then they have that game. Okay, and then they have the.
But remind me, at Green Bay doesn't matter next week if you guys lose to the Lions.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to Week 18. Now, there's a way the Steelers could clinch before Week 18 too. If the Ravens lose to the Patriots, which isn't impossible, and the Steelers beat the Lions, which I don't see, but just for the sake of the conversation, next week all the Steelers have to do is beat the Browns, which we know with the Steelers, there ain't no guarantees, especially in Cleveland. They haven't played that well in Cleveland in a while. They actually lost like 3 straight games in Cleveland. So
you're one game up. If you go like 2-0 and they go 1-1, you're in.
Yep, that's it. Okay. So I'm going to say yeah, I think they do. And I think they're playing a lot better on offense. The running game's a lot better, and Rodgers is playing pretty well. And we know Rodgers, regardless of what people think about him, it's been a mixed bag for me this season, but he does not – the cold doesn't threat him. He's a really good cold weather quarterback. So,
you know who you guys need to get more burn? Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, yeah. He's been really good. He's been really good. He's probably our best running back this year. I agree. Well, cool. We'll move on, fellas. I know we're a little tight for time. We can rapid fire this. I don't know if we know how to rapid fire. I feel like anytime I say rapid,
we do this every year. We do this every year. You said, "Oh, we're gonna keep this to an hour." You guys, Aneesh, you need to shut up and not say much this year. And before you know it, it's like 2 hours later.
Well, I'm trying to mess it up by starting the whole because I really want to get y'all tips for like the state of the NFL. You know what I mean? Because it was just something I've been feeling. I've been feeling it. You know, and I was like. I wonder how they feel about it. And like I said, I know it's different for you, Kwab, because you're involved in it. You're working it and all that. But I guess more from an Aneesh standpoint, I was like, yeah, does he feel that way? Because it's just a feeling I've gotten this year. Like,
I will say this, I don't really miss fantasy football, and I've been playing fantasy football for the last 20 years. And yeah, for some reason, like it was giving me headaches and like, oh, I gotta like this player is annoying now. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. Now, Aneesh,
sorry about this. So I took over your squad. So everyone's got to know. I took over Kwab's team. You know, they kicked Kwab out.
They didn't kick you out.
They relegated Kwab. They relegated him. They said, this guy needs to get out of here. They freaked me in. Okay? And I started 0-4.
Damn.
0-4. I was like, all right, this is going to be Frank's tank. My teams have always been called Frank's tank. I'm going to be Frank's tank. I'm going to bring it into the ESPN league, and we're going to roll. Okay? I started 0-4, and I was like, I'm not taking ownership of this. This is Kwab Squad. I changed my team name to Kwab Squad. Since then, I won 8 of my last 10. So I went 8-2.
There you go.
And I won a playoff game. And now I'm in the semifinals. So like Kwab Squad is back, baby.
I got a little tear coming down my eye right now, man.
When I got hot, I was like, I cannot change this back. This is Kwab Squad.
And did you win your playoff game too?
I'm playing this week. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got a bye.
No. I won last week. week.
Okay.
I got a semifinal this week, but it's Kwab Squad. But you best believe if I win, I'm changing it back to Frank's tank.
Why would you do that? Just keep it going. Why would you do that?
No. If I win the whole thing, it's Frank's tank. If I lose, it's Kwab Squad.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Like, I thought the story was going to have a good ending. It's a terrible ending. It's like those good movies with a bad ending.
Well, I actually did. I talked to Kurt. I was like, hey, Kurt, halfway, I'd won like 4 or 5 or 6. I was like, should I change this back to Frank's tank to really take ownership? I was like, can't. It's Kwab Squad forever now.
It's like those stories, Kwab, that people tell you sometimes. Remember when we were in college, they would tell us stories and had no climax. You were like, what? Okay, what was that?
Man.
Like,
it was like... okay, like the story started off good, but then it's like, what happened?
Like, I'm gonna keep rolling with Kwab Squad, and if I get to the championship, I'll change it. Like, well, nah, just you want to keep the momentum going. Why would you?
Oh yeah, no, it's Kwab Squad. It's Kwab Squad.
Oh boy! All right, well, for real, gonna do rapid fire. That means you have 30 seconds to answer these questions. All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll start with you, Darian. The potential playoff team not getting enough buzz is who?
Yeah. And I wanted to say 30 seconds here.
You're gonna take 30 seconds to think about it.
I know, right? See, I don't know if it's an obvious one. I would say the Patriots. The Patriots.
Good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
It's a good
maybe
answer.
the Patriots. Yeah, I would say the Patriots.
Anish,
I'm gonna go the Panthers.
I struggle with
Haven't
that,
they been
man.
playing? They've been playing better.
He just lost to the Saints though, and they lost to your team like 2 weeks ago.
But
That's
I think we need to give more props to the Saints though, because they also beat the Bucks. And they
Like-
they're beating these teams. Wasn't the Bucks team in Tampa? Like that's
Yes.
oh my god.
Yeah. Now the Carolina one that was in New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm like, I feel like they're a team they're getting better. They beat the Rams. They've been playing quietly better. I know they lost to the Saints, but like, I'm like, nobody's talking about them.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
Literally
one. I'll go Niners. Because everybody's like, oh, the Niners defense kind of sucks, but I like Shanahan. I think he's done one of his better coaching jobs this year, especially with like Mac Jones coming in. Mac Jones is maybe just proven he's a good backup quarterback, but why are you shaking your head?
You know how Mike Tomlin exists for 9-8? Kyle Shanahan exists for half of his roster crumbling and winning 10 games. That's like his Super Bowl.
Well, why is that on him? It's not his fault the roster crumbles. He's not the strength and conditioning coach.
Don't you think they should have figured strength and conditioning out over the last like 8 years? This happens every year.
You say all this stuff about Tomlin and Shanahan. I'm not saying you're not right, but what are you saying? These guys shouldn't be coaches in the NFL? Like, if both of those coaches got let go tomorrow, do you think they'd be both coaching teams next year? And should they be
in the USFL
probably.
Or the NFL?
Oh my god! Now I will say, Kwab, and we've had these conversations, Kwab. I've always thought Shanahan was a little overrated. I mean, I think we've had that.
I think a lot of people think that.
Yeah, I've always said he's a little overrated. I mean, and I will agree with you this year. He has done probably a heck of a job. Yeah, and I'm never gonna hate just because of what I think. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I've always thought he was a little overrated. Like the whole, you can just plug anything into a system and they're just gonna thrive. I never bought that. You know what I mean? I'm like, he's had talent. Like he's had talent. You know what I mean?
Tomlin and Shanahan should be good enough where we're evaluating them on playoff wins and Super Bowls. Period.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We should not be sitting here and be like, well, Kyle Shanahan could be coach of the year because his team fell apart and he's going to get 11 wins versus a bunch of nobodies and might lose in the first round of the playoff. Like, is that really to your point though? Like, if he got let go, not someone else is going to scoop him up. But like, what are the standards here? Like, Kyle Shanahan's standards are higher.
I mean, it's hard to get to Super Bowls. People are like, oh, you got to get to Super Bowl. Like, how many coaches
win a playoff game? And when was the last time Tomlin won a playoff game?
Okay, this is a question for Aneesh, and I'm asking this just as an honest thing. Like, is Purdy good?
Oh man, I thought this was rapid fire.
It doesn't work with us. It doesn't work with us. We try, but we.
Yeah, real quick, if you could just give us a synopsis. I'm sorry.
No, I think okay. It's all relative on how much you pay him.
But they just paid him up.
If you pay an average or above average quarterback elite money, you're going to get yourself in problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, because I know that's how you kind of feel about Dak, right? You feel that around.
Yeah, like if you tell me Dak's getting paid the 10th highest quarterback, 12th highest quarterback, you pay him $40 million, you can spend another $15-20 million a year on the rest of his roster. Rest of his roster is better. You can win a Super Bowl, but if you're paying him 55-60 and now you lose Micah Parsons and all this other stuff, like I feel less good about him.
Yeah,
you know who I think Dak is pretty comparable to more now. I think him and Goff have a lot of similarities where they can put up some great numbers, like they'll look great, but like, and this is just my personal. I don't know if you guys will agree with that, but I feel like there's still a bit of hesitancy when it comes to the postseason. Like, can these be the guys that really take us over the hump? Because I think
that's a perfect comparison. Because I actually agree with you. I think that's a perfect because remember I was telling you earlier the 5 quarterbacks who are only 5 quarterbacks who are averaging over 250 yards. Dak Prescott and Jared Goff are on that list. So I'm in total agreement with you. I think they're both relative because you they can ball out. They can put up numbers. They can sometimes surprise you and beat a Chiefs or the Eagles team when they're down 21 and you're like, whoa, like, what was that? Like, you know what I mean? But then postseason comes, you're kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I trust them. You know what I mean?
So there me watching football this year, there's been, I would say, 3 really vivid moments where I was like, you can't win with this quarterback. One was Jared Goff against the Eagles. That second half where he like literally he didn't complete a pass for like 12 to 14 passes. He looked rattled. And you're like, I can't have my quarterback getting that rattled in a tough situation. You're not going to be able to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Second was Jalen Hurts versus the Chargers. And I know Jalen Hurts has won it. This year's Jalen Hurts has too many of those moments where you're like, I don't know what's going on, but you look like you're on another planet in the worst of ways.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna disagree with the Hurts one because we've seen Hurts get to 2 Super Bowls. We've seen Hurts win a lot of big games, and we've seen Hurts play well in big games.
Jalen Hurts this year, it reminds me of Jalen Hurts 2 years ago.
Yes, right? I agree with you. Yeah.
Like you could just tell with the Eagles 2 years ago. You're like, oh, like they started 9-0 or something, and then they kind of like fizzled away.
Yeah.
That Jalen Hurts in that state, you were like, they are not going anywhere.
So also, Kwab, something I want to ask you, Kwab, because I've been hearing this a lot in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Do you think with Jalen Hurts, it's like he has all that talent? Obviously, you have one of the best running backs, obviously, last year. You have arguably the top duo in receiver, you know what I mean? Like as far as duo. Right? You have a good defense. So a lot of people say, and I've been hearing a lot the last 3 weeks, it's like, well, things have kind of aligned for him. Things have like, he's been put in like almost like a perfect situation because you have all this talent. Now, I'm not big on the head coach, but you have the talent. So it's like, okay, people are saying like, well, I'm not really surprised he's gotten to 2 Super Bowls with what you have. Like, I guess people are saying like, if you give Josh Allen that roster, they're probably winning 2, 3, and a lot of it is due to him, even though he has all that talent, right? I think a lot of people are kind of starting to realize or believe that, wait a minute, maybe this guy's been put in like a really perfect situation, and that's why you're getting the results you're getting. And now, as Aneesh, to put it to Aneesh's point, you're kind of seeing him get exposed or the flaw, like, yeah, he's really not that dude. It's really the other guys who have made him look good. It may not really be him.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem saying that. I also think they have a play calling issue this particular year. I really do.
I agree with that too.
That's been a big issue with them. Nick Sirianni to me is one of those CEO coaches where like he doesn't really do much. Like I don't really say that as an insult. I just feel like there are certain coaches where their coordinators got to be on point or they won't look that good. And I think they've had really good coordinators. I think Shane Steichen was a great coordinator.
Right.
And since he's left, they had they had some inconsistencies with him, but I also don't think Jalen Hurts does a lot of things great. He's a good athlete. I wouldn't say he's a great athlete. He has an okay arm. What does he do great?
Well, that's my point. My point is that's what I'm saying. People like the last 3 weeks you've been hearing a lot of, okay, was this guy really just put in a perfect situation? Because we're starting to see him be really exposed, or we knew he had flaws. We knew that coming out of college, but he's really now starting to get exposed of like, dude, you have to have like pretty much everything around you great. Like I'm not like he's not a guy, just like they say whether it's about Dak or Goff, that you can't put the team on their back and he's gonna lead you.
Not often. He'll do it every once in a while, just like I think like most solid quarterbacks can. Every once in a while they'll do it. But
right.
Yeah, I think with him, we know what the deal is. I think we like you said, we know the talent around him. They also have their O-line hasn't been as great, and their running game hasn't been as great. So I think there's more factors with the Eagles than people might want.
And he has arguably the greatest GM in the NFL. I mean, or the best GM in the NFL. You know what I mean? So he's had everything aligned perfectly for him, except for the coach and, like you said, maybe the play calling. But he's had.
But with all that said, they're still winning a lot of games. I mean, they're gonna. Yeah. And we talked about trends a lot on this podcast, and that's one trend I'm surprised more people aren't going with. Like, well, we've seen what Jalen Hurts does in the playoffs. Kind of takes me back to we're going to get nostalgic again, like talking about like the QBs from like the 2000s and the 2010s, and like why I like Eli Manning is a perfect example where like the regular season just don't really pay attention to that. It's more look what he does when they go on runs. Like, and the reason I think he's a Hall of Famer when it comes down to performing, like I remember when Eli played the Niners in the title game, or it was and he was getting beat up. never got rattled. And I never thought he got rattled. And I think the same with Jalen Hurts. I feel like he doesn't get rattled. And I think I'm gonna wait to give my full opinion on him in the postseason.
I think the trend with Jalen is you kind of know, like, Jalen Hurts is a vastly different quarterback year to year. And you just know which quarterback you're getting after you see the first 10 weeks. And it could be totally different than the year before.
But he could be different week to week. Like, yeah.
I was going to say that. He could be different week to week.
But, like, 4 years ago, really good, hit momentum, what made it to the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, started off hot, but, like, they fizzled away, lost to the Bucks in the wild card.
Right, I remember
that.
Like,
last year, there were no questions about how the Eagles were clicking going into the playoffs. He was clicking, offense was clicking, like, no questions.
Right.
This year, they just don't have it. And it's been weeks. And I don't think there's nothing to me for Jalen Hurts that says he turns it on. There's no Eli Manning turn it on in him. It is like you kind of know what he's going to be every year.
So you think the Eagles need to be play like there's momentum swings with him. Like you'll see the momentum, but you don't think he's all right, he's going to ball out today type quarterback. You think you can see it early
they're not
on.
the team that like for 6 weeks lights it up and then 6 weeks goes away, then 6 weeks lights it up. It's like they haven't been. There's nothing that's looked good about them offensively now for 16 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they played the Raiders last week. That's always like a nice, like little band-aid. Yeah, you play the Raiders if you're not doing well. Like, man, that was. But what are they going to do this upcoming week? We'll see.
Last QB performance I wanted to throw out that was horrifically bad, and it is a CJ Stroud second half against the Chargers. Was like very eye-opening. Of like, CJ Stroud you could tell he feels moments, he feels pressures.
Yeah,
get pressure on him, and he's like totally rattled.
Yep.
And that is the Texans defense is great, but that is a problem for the Texans. CJ Stroud is a problem for the Texans.
Which is unfortunate because we used to think the exact opposite. Like, man, they have this
especially that first year. Remember that first year? We were like, oh, yeah, this could be the guy. Like he looks like he's going to be their their starter, decade at least. You know what I mean? But I agree with Aneesh. At least the last couple years, I've kind of started to feel that about CJ Stroud too.
Yeah, he's for me. I like guys that can take a licking and keep on ticking, right? Like, and I've never got that out of him. And you can't teach that. Some dudes just now. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way all the time either. And that's why, like, you guys both know I've always been a big Josh Allen guy, but it's for multiple reasons. One, I don't think he ever gets rattled. Two, he's exactly what Darian was talking about earlier. There's no question he could put teams on his back. He's been putting teams on his back for years now.
Right.
The Bills aren't that talented to me. The James Cook's really good. He's Josh Allen's great.
Yeah, the receivers are enemy. They're like,
ain't nobody scared of Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakur. I'm sorry, nobody.
Exactly.
They're okay. Like Diggs was good. Diggs was really good. But
right.
Isn't the what you said? Take a licking and keep on ticking. Isn't that the difference between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson has a little bit of the like. Start hitting him, things don't go right. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. You guys just put up 30 points in a half. Yeah. And all of a sudden, in the second half, you've gone 3 and out 4 times in a row, and the other team like comes back and like sneaks out a win, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the criticism on Lamar is if they don't get off to a quick start and you start just throwing haymakers at each other. Like, I don't know. I don't think if Derrick Henry doesn't get it going, I think they're very beatable. And unfortunately with Lamar, if they don't get off to a quick start, it usually gets worse. It doesn't usually get better.
But I would say to your point, Kwab, I don't know if there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that you can do the whole, I'm sorry, your phrase was,
take a look at, like they can take it, just
it's not rolling. A lot of, I can only think of maybe like a few or maybe 5 off the top of my head that do that. It's not a lot of, even the ones we consider great or good quarterbacks, there's not a lot that really stand in there, are willing to take the hit, can make the throw, and they can get up and be like, all right, let's keep going. I'm good.
Those are probably, Darren, if you try to list 5 or 6, those are probably your Super Bowl bubble.
I don't know. Because even like you said, I don't think Lamar is really like that. I do agree with Josh Allen.
Are the Ravens in your bubble right now?
Say it again.
Are the Ravens in your bubble right now?
Like, you think they're a Super Bowl team? They can make it to
I
Super
don't
Bowl?
think
No, I don't. Oh, you're saying like of the Super Bowl team.
If you say like who are out of the playoff teams, who's in my Super Bowl?
Oh, okay.
I
I
bet
was
you.
talking about in general of quarterbacks.
I
Yeah.
bet you most of the teams that you put in the Super Bowl bubble are the ones that you're like, oh yeah, they can take a beating and get up, and that quarterback can keep.
Right. Like I said, I definitely agree with you on Josh Allen, right? Even I mean Mahomes obviously is out.
Mahomes. I'm gonna say Joe Burrow too. I'll say Joe Burrow as well.
Joe Burrow.
Of the playoff teams.
Oh, right.
Of the playoff teams. See, that's tough because even like
Stafford. I'll say Stafford.
So
I do think so.
Like
Stafford's a lot tougher than he gets credit for. I do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think of him off the top of my head of that guy taking a lick and keep going because
no, I don't. But just thinking of guys that I don't know if you guys will agree with this one, but there isn't enough of a sample size. But I think there's something there with Jordan Love too. I feel like Jordan Love is built a little different. I do. I just feel like people are rushing to rank him as an elite quarterback. I think people have to understand he's still very young. He hasn't started that many seasons. I think Jordan Love a lot. I know people are like, no, nobody like Aneesh. You don't think he's bad. You think he's fine, but and I feel like you feel the same way, Darian. I feel like you guys both feel the same way about Jordan Love.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be very good. I don't know if he's there yet. But the one thing I will say,
he's not there yet, though, is what I'm saying. It's okay he's not there yet. Like,
it's fine. But I will say, like, okay, as much whatever you think about Dak, I do think Dak's one of those guys. He can take a hit, take the thing, and keep licking, right? Well, no matter what you think about him, if it's other stuff, he doesn't have all bad qualities. Like, that's one of the good qualities I do like about Dak. Like, he'll stand in there, throw it, get hit. Okay, let's go. Let's, you know what I mean? So the toughness of Dak is one of his great attributes. You know, everything else we can have a discussion on. You can get on him about. That's fine. So, like, when you made that statement, that's one of the persons I thought about. I'm like, yeah, like, that's one thing Dak does well. You know what I mean? Like, he will stand in there, take the hit, and let's go again. You know what I mean?
think the criticism for me with Dak is sometimes he just doesn't put up the numbers you need him to in the big spots. But it's not because of a lack of toughness or it's just sometimes like I needed a little bit more from you, you know? Like he'll throw that bad turnover, like damn.
Right.
Yeah,
right. Like I said, everything else we can have a discussion on, but that's one thing I've always said about him, and I've noticed even after the last 3 or 4 seasons, like he stands in there, takes the hit, gets back up, and like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Especially when he's cooking, especially.
The problem with Dak is not that he doesn't get back up and keep going. It's like he gets back up and he's just like not that good. Like his performance goes down, right? His performance goes down. Whereas like I remember Eli Manning when the Niners played him in that the conference championship game. And it's like you hit him, and like he would get back up and get better.
Dude, same with Roethlisberger.
Yeah, it's like the more you hit them, the better they got.
Like Roethlisberger, like get beat up bloody nose and went on a touchdown winning drive. It's like,
there's some dudes who like literally don't get up. So like Stroud just doesn't get up. There are guys who get up like Dak and they get worse, which is like, okay, cool. Like I'll give you credit for getting up, but like you're also just not playing that well when you get hit. Then there are guys who you hit and they get better, and that's like Josh Allen.
Yeah, but like you're right, D. Maybe there just aren't that many guys like that.
Yeah, they're not. They're not a lot of guys that just like stand in there, are willing to take the hit, get back up.
Justin Herbert gets back up. Justin Herbert gets back up, but his play.
Yeah, but he's kind of Dak though. Is he getting better?
His play goes.
Like, is he?
Let me say this about Dak though. That's like I understand in big games you can say that, but even this year, Dak has had games where he's gotten back. Like, okay, we can use that Eagles game as an example. Y'all weren't saying that in that Eagles game when they were down 21. He was getting hit. He brought them back.
That Eagles game. You said the game was over.
No, I did. Okay, that's as a fan, but I'm saying it's like when you look at the game as a whole, when y'all were watching that game, y'all weren't saying like, oh, y'all were probably like, oh my God, he's getting up and bringing them back on his. Now we can talk about if the Eagles are as good as they were. Of course, we already stated that, but he's had like Dak's had games where he has gone back up and has played well. Like it's not every game. Yeah, now maybe the big games when you're talking about the playoffs.
The Lions game, he got hit and they went away the last few quarters. Like
no, I disagree with you on that. No, because that Lions game, Pickens wasn't willing to catch the ball because me and Kwab had a whole text change about that. About he just gave up on plays.
He wasn't interested. He wanted that day off.
You can't put that's the thing. So the one thing I don't like when people do is that you can't put everything on Dak. Like if the Cowboys have a lot of issues, but yeah, he to me, to be honest with you, he's not one of them. It's mostly
the least of their
he's the least of the problems. Like it's more of like guys giving up on balls, the defense being
or CD not catching balls, like
guys not catching balls. You can't put everything on Dak. I get you want to pile everything on because it's like, oh, well, that's the easiest thing to do. But you said yourself, you look at every game, you watch every game. If you're breaking down some of them games, you can't put everything on Dak.
But I don't think everybody.
My point is more like, yes, there are examples of Dak getting hit, getting back up, and playing well.
Right.
Eagles game was an example. There are more games where he gets hit, he comes back, and his performance dips.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, especially the bigger games, I'll give you that.
Yeah, like, but and that's just to say the point of there are like Ben Roethlisberger. The more you hit him, the better he got.
Right.
And like, so like, yeah. So
I remember one game particularly with Dak where I wanted to see, because it was a pretty physical game. You guys will remember this one well. It was probably like 3-4 years ago. It was in San Fran. And the Cowboys defense actually played pretty well. It was a pretty low scoring game. It was like 13. Remember that deal was like 13-10 or something.
Yeah, I think they won like 19-13 or something like that.
Yeah, but that was a perfect example of a game where it was very physical. Dak was getting hit. And like, man, he just needed to make that extra play, and it just never came. And it's just
but then you also said in that same Steelers game last year, he made that play. Remember that game was a physical game.
But I'm talking bigger magnitude games right now.
That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah. That's my point. You guys are bringing up, and I'm not saying those are not important. Obviously, the bigger games are important.
Of course. That's what you want. Yeah,
you can't discredit regular. I mean, you have to win in the regular season to get to the playoffs, right? So I don't like when people say like, "Oh, well, that was a regular season game." Well, you have to win to get into the playoffs.
Well, Dak doesn't face more criticism. How is that any different than Justin Herbert? People are like, "Oh, in the regular season,
no,
it's the playoffs."
You're saying that Justin Herbert faces more criticism than Dak Prescott? No,
no, because he's not a Cowboys quarterback. That's never going to be the same. It just depends. If Justin Herbert was a Cowboys quarterback, he'd be facing.
I agree with you.
Like Tony Romo. Tony Romo got criticized.
The narrative on Justin Herbert's the same.
I think it is.
It maybe not the same magnitude, but it's like, yeah, dude can be flashy, can put up big games, but like push comes to shove, you hit him, big game, high magnitude, you'll hit him, and like he'll get back up and start throwing, but like probably just like start throwing to the ground or like to the other team, right? Like he's not gonna win it. So like the magnitude on him is higher, but like you can't defend Dak but then criticize Justin Herbert. They're like the same.
Yeah. But all right, guys.
I agree with you, Aneesh, but I feel like sometimes it's the opposite. Like people will criticize Dak more and I get it because he's the Cowboys quarterback, and then like you let Justin Herbert off the hook. Like when I see these lists of like, when they put Justin Herbert so high, but I'm like, y'all keep telling me winning playoff games is important. This guy's won a playoff game. So how is he close to top 5 and you're telling me you got to win playoff games?
But I guess my thing is I see the Herbert criticism. I don't think I think he got, man, after that Texas.
So you're in LA, so maybe you're seeing it in LA. I don't see it nationally.
No,
but I don't see it nationally. You can't tell. When do they even talk about the Chargers on some of these shows? You're not talking about the Chargers on First Take.
But you're making my point. That's the only reason you probably don't hear it as much is because nobody cares about the Chargers. But he gets the same criticism when people do talk about the Chargers. The only reason Dak gets talked about more is because it's the Cowboys. Like if Herbert was the Cowboys quarterback, he'd be getting the same treatment probably Tony Romo was getting, where it's like, we know this guy's talented, but like, dude, you're not coming through when it matters.
I'm just saying that we've had this conversation. Just keep it the same across the board. Don't be like, okay, well, because this guy plays for this team and this guy plays for this team.
But it matters. It does.
Why does it matter though? They're both quarterbacks. Like you can't. I'm sorry, I don't agree with the whole. And I know you do this all the time. Like you say, well, yes, the cow. Like that doesn't make it right. Oh, you're the Cowboys.
It doesn't make it right, but it's the reality. Like depending on where you play matters. Nobody cares about what the freaking quarterback for I'm trying to think of a super irrelevant team right now. Nobody cares about what the Saints quarterback is.
It's Shador. They do care this year at least because it's Shador. Because of the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because of the person. Right.
When
have we ever cared about a Browns quarterback besides Shador? And we only care because he's Deion's son. That's it. And a lot of people don't care, honestly. So
yeah. I just don't. I don't think it's right. I don't like this whole like. Well, it's because of this. Like that doesn't make it right. It's like when Trump says that dumbass stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just Trump. No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? Like you can't just say like, oh yeah, he plays for Dallas, so it is what it is. Nah, that's not right.
The criticism on Dak is fair. I think the criticism on Herbert's fair. I think they're probably in the same tier of quarterback.
But
And I agree with you. I
Whether
think it to be
you,
equal.
yeah, whether you rank,
That's all I'm saying.
The Cowboys-
yeah, whether you rank Herbert 8 and Dak 10 or Dak 9 or Herbert 10, like they're in the same tier. Like they're the same to me.
Yeah, I don't
same.
think one is that much better than the other. I think they're both good quarterbacks.
I
think
prefer Herbert, but like they're in the same tier quarterback, and like someone else might prefer Dak.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. All I'm saying is it just needs to be fair on across the board. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm not saying that I disagree with you. I'm just saying it's just not going to be that way. Like if you play on certain organizations, you're just going to get more attention. If you're a Laker, if you're a Celtic, if you're a Cowboy, if you play on big market teams, you play on the Knicks. Like that's just how it goes. Nobody cares what the Magic are doing right now. Are the Magic good this year? I have no idea. I know they are.
City do they play?
Also, it's exceptions to the rule, though, Kwab. It depends on sometimes, the NBA is different because it's sometimes it's player driven. Because does anybody care about the Bulls since Michael's left? No. Nobody cares about the Bulls. Nobody's like, oh man, the Bulls are
relevant before. The Bulls weren't relevant before Jordan, though.
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it is the player. It's not always the organization. It's like
the organization. The Cowboys were relevant way before Dak. They were relevant way before Romo. They were relevant in the 80s and the 70s. The Bulls, who was on the Bulls before my MJ? Well, nobody cares about the Bulls before MJ.
Yeah, Lando Woolridge, but that's another topic for another day.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that sometimes it is exceptions to the rules where it's about the player. And, NBA is more driven by players anyway.
It is.
I mean, yes, the Celtics and the Lakers somewhat care. I mean, yeah, if you're a fan of them, cool. But it's more player driven. Like, we care about the player. I don't really care about the organization. Like, I've never cared. And obviously, I'm not a Celtic or Laker fan. I've never cared about the Celtics or Laker organization. I care about the players. Like, when you guys had Shaq and Kobe, or when the Celtics had KG, Garnett, Ray Allen. So NBA is to me more player driven. Now, yeah, maybe in the NFL it's more organizational. Like, yeah, it's about the team. They don't care about the player,
which I like. It's way more about team because there's no player that's like, I don't want to go to Green Bay. Like Green Bay is considered one of the best organizations. It's in the middle of nowhere. If Green Bay were an NFL, if this was the equivalent, it was the NBA. Ain't nobody talking about, I'm trying to sign a long-term contract with Green Bay. Nobody would be saying that.
Yeah.
And that's what I actually appreciate about the NFL. It's like, it is more organization driven. It's like, I want to play on, heck, the Steelers have been average for the last decade, but I got drafted by the Steelers. Like, I don't think they're going to be like, it's not like getting drafted by the Jets. And the Jets are in New York. They're in New York and nobody wants to play for the Jets. So.
Well, I think that whole, even in the NBA, that's done. That whole like market, like guys cared about what market they played in and all that. I think that's over. That's done. Because
in the NBA, you think it's over?
I still think it's over in the NBA. The Knicks got Jalen at the time. Jalen Brunson. Nobody was like, "Oh my God!" The Knicks got Jalen Brunson. Now, when they got Amari and Melo, it was a big deal. But nobody was like, "Oh my God!" They got Jalen Brunson. Like,
I don't think it's over though, because ain't no way Giannis is a free agent. Now I'm going to Utah. That's not happening. He's not going.
I understand that, but he's also decided to stay in Milwaukee multiple times now. He had his chance. He had a chance to go to a big market.
Well, I think it's different when you get drafted by a team, though. Like that's where he started. Remember, he wasn't amazing from day one. It took Giannis like quite a few years to turn into a superstar. So like,
yeah, but it's definitely examples though. Like even like I'll even go back as far as like even sometimes in the early 2000s, like Duncan had a chance to leave San Antonio. He didn't leave. Like he was like, I'm gonna stay here.
Personality. He was just kind of like chill.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Also, the NBA also gives you a lot of a financial incentive to stay where you were drafted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, why would you give up 20, 30, 40, $50 million to leave?
I'll give you that, Aneesh. That's true. That's true. Yeah, but I just think I don't know if the whole playing in a bigger market is the thing because we haven't really seen it. There's no examples of like even in the NBA, like who's a guy that's left and be like, oh yeah, like Luka got traded to the Lakers. He didn't go there willingly. They traded him. Whereas like you haven't heard of what's the last big free agent you heard of like, oh, they went to the Lakers or they went to LA. I mean, yeah, LeBron did it, but LeBron's been doing that anyway. But like, yeah, then who's the last like, oh man, like look blah 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 went to the New York or they went to I don't think players care about that as much anymore.
Ain't nobody picking to go to Utah. I'll stick with that.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I don't keep using Utah as an example. Yes, I agree with you. Utah hasn't been good in like years. This is like Malone.
They haven't. You expand the show to Utah. Can you stop ripping on the people in Utah, all right? That need viewership, man.
No, I'm not dissing the state of Utah. I'm just saying nobody wants to go there.
Yeah, listen to the pod. We don't care if you live in Utah. Just don't.
No, I take that back. They were good with like Darren and Boozer.
Cool. Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, they were cool. But yeah, I just don't think it matters as much anymore. That's just my take on it. Where I felt like in the 90s, in the early 2000s, yeah, players cared about, I want to go to a big market. But I don't think that's...
Ain't nobody like, you know what? I'm signing with the Pelicans. Nobody said it. No. The Pelicans might be the least relevant franchise in sports. Here, the Pelicans?
I mean, New Orleans is a great city.
Yes, the thing. New Orleans is a great city, though. It's like, I love it.
It is. But they have no history there, man. And they're terrible. They have like 4 wins this year. They're awful.
But now we've alienated Louisiana and Utah. Way to go, Kwab.
All right, let's wrap up, fellas. So real quick, obviously, it's almost Christmas time. I got to ask you guys, what's the best, not what the best gift you've ever gotten, what's the most memorable gift you guys have gotten? I'll start with you, Aneesh. Like, when you think of like, man, I remember 98, or, well, you probably weren't even born in 98, like 2008. All
right, this is going to date me. I was so pumped for the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, it's a good one. 2000. Yeah, that was a good one.
I was hyped.
That was a good one.
I got on the tree, woke up, opened my Sega Dreamcast, and I was like, I made it. I made it.
That was a good. Did you have a Dreamcast?
And the Sega Dreamcast.
I'm sorry, you asking me? Yeah.
Sega Dreamcast was garbage.
Well, the Dreamcast
so bad. You would put it in, and it would be like.
It was mad loud. It was very. Like you're not sneaking to play video games when you got a Dreamcast. Like, the parents it'll wake up the whole house. Like, those things loud.
Yeah.
B, what about you? Most memorable.
So similar to Aneesh, I would say the first time when I got my Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah.
Because that was like my first. So for me, that was my first system. Because like my brother had Atari. Because I was a little young for Atari. So that was my brother. Yeah. It's kind of days. But when I got the Sega Genesis, that was memorable because like that was really my first video game system I ever had. So I would say
I love that it always goes to video games because that's mine too, man. Mine's around a little closer to the Dreamcast time when I got my Nintendo 64 though.
Oh yeah!
Shout out to Pop. Shout out to Pops. He knew I wanted one the whole year, and he was trying to play funny, like, oh, it's too expensive. I'm like, dang, Christmas morning, man. Opened it up.
That's the best feeling.
It's just like.
What was the first game you got?
For Nintendo 64?
Yeah, not the one out of the box, which was like Donkey Kong Racing or something.
Racing. Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm a big Zelda guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
big Zelda guy. Oh yeah. That was a
So for me,
I remember like when we were in ESPN, you were always bopping around Zelda Land like by yourself. Like,
bopping. What are you eating? So what? That's my game.
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? You're like just like walking around. I'm like,
Aneesh
boring.
Aneesh came to visit me in the Bronx back in like 2016, and we were just chilling at the crib, and we started playing Batman, and Aneesh was hooked. He's like, "Yo, this game is so fun." It was like Batman, like Arkham City.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, but I would say my first game that I remember getting for Sega Genesis was probably the first NBA Live.
Oh yeah, way back. Right. The lives came out before. The 2Ks didn't start till like legit 2000.
Right. So I would say the NBA Live 95, 94. It was the one with the cover, like with the Knicks and the Rockets when they first.
Oh yeah, you're taking it way back.
Yeah, so that was like the first game I actually got excited. Like I remember waking up Christmas morning, I got this Genesis, and then I'm like, okay, well, what game am I gonna play? And I remember my mom handing me like another gift, and it was the Live, and I was like, oh snap! It's NBA. It was the first NBA Live.
And if you're ever bored and you got some free time, go back and YouTube what that game used to look like. Graphics.
Oh, I have.
Horrible. You want to talk about? There a lot of things have had glow ups over the years, right? Like since we were kids to now, video games might be the greatest glow up ever.
First of all, Jordan was player. He was like 99 player. Remember?
He kind of looked like Denzel. He was like a little.
He had hair. He had hair, and then he didn't miss.
He was number 99. Yeah,
I think he had like a 99 rate. He did not miss. Like you could. I remember I shot from like half court and I made it, and I'm like,
that's how big Jordan was. He was so great. Like video games, he's just like, yeah, I'm not I'm too good.
Yeah, he wouldn't give him the licensing because he talked about it later on of why that was because he wouldn't give them the his naming rights.
Yeah, now you can use them all you want. I know you guys don't game anymore, but yeah.
I mean, I got to switch two on my Christmas list this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm into this. I like the mobility of the Switch.
Yeah,
I
like long
I live
flight.
vicariously video games through Kwab now. Only play them like when I go over his crib. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah. See,
I
think. Yeah.
With my free time, like you always talk about as we gotten older, being married and just other stuff going on. I literally just don't have the time to just sit down.
Oh wait, you think I just got all this time where I have nothing going on?
No. But remember, we've had this discussion. You always say like when I have my leisure time, I'll play video games. Well,
yeah,
I don't do
these leisure times different.
Yeah. I just don't do that.
That's a lame ass.
Because I play video games.
I'm not gonna say all that. I didn't say all that.
Yeah, I do. I do like to game. It's not as often, I hate to say, but
you're right. The games have come a long way. I mean, they look almost realistic now. Like it looks like I'm watching a movie.
They look
like
great.
I used to call you movie games. Yeah, like they look very realistic. So I will give it that. Like technology has come a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
And we got to get through the rest of the Christmas questions.
I just wanted to catch. We got to be rapid fire. You guys know what that means? Yeah, it doesn't. For real.
Good answers here.
All right, for real. That was a good one. All right, for real. All right, Aneesh, what's your favorite Christmas movie and why?
All right.
Don't say Die Hard.
All right. Yeah, I think that was like 3 years ago we talked about Die Hard. All right. I'm gonna go Elf.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Most controversial movie I actually really like is Home Alone 3. With the little, like, I don't even know who the kid is. Like, they kind of just, like, swapped in. They were like, all right, well, Macaulay Culkin's not up for the third one, or he went.
He was also kind of like older. He was older.
Yeah, he got ugly and weird or something.
No.
And then they were like, all right, we're just gonna like bring in this other little random kid and reboot Home Alone 1. But I was into it. Everyone hates Home Alone 3. I'm into Home Alone 3.
I agree. I think Home Alone 3 gets hated on a little too much. I watched it 2 years ago. I was like, you know what? This isn't bad. What about you, D? What's your favorite?
Home Alone, the first one.
The first one over the second one?
Oh, yeah, because I remember getting the tape. You remember this when we used VCRs. And I watched it like over and over. Like, I was young. I was a kid. I would watch it like 3 or 4 times around Christmas time. So, yeah, definitely Home Alone for me. Yeah,
I'll keep it pretty consistent here. I'll go Home Alone as well. Also, like Macaulay Culkin was such a big deal. Like, man, he was like a star.
He was.
Is he the greatest? Is he the biggest child actor of our lifetime? I say yes.
I would say yes to me just because that was like my first. The biggest child star I had ever seen when I started watching. Yeah,
you were in a Michael Jackson video. That's you made it. You Michael. Yeah.
He's like one of like we wouldn't like obviously it's like Iron Man and like Batman. He's like one of the greatest heroes of my lifetime.
He doesn't get enough thought. He is a superhero. I agree.
Yes, he was
a hero. All right, well, a couple more. All right, what's your guys' favorite Christmas song?
Oh, for me, it's definitely Mariah. All I want for Christmas. Yeah, I mean,
I'm so tired of hearing that song.
Yeah,
like, hold on, you're a music guy. How are you gonna be that basic?
I mean, how's that basic though? I mean, Mariah Carey. I mean, that song. Well, you understand that song has been out. I mean, also, since the late '90s or early 2000s. Yeah, it's a very old song because the only song I can think equivalent to it or that I like that I would maybe put. This is my personal thing. Is Chris Brown's "This Christmas."
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, like that's equivalent. I mean, I like that personally, but I still wouldn't put it over Mariah. You know what I mean?
What about you got, Aneesh?
I'm gonna go Brenda Lee's "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree."
Oh, that's a good one.
Classic.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And I got Home Alone. Remember when he's singing that?
Yes. Yeah.
I love that scene.
That's a good one. I like "Last Christmas" by George Michael. It was actually Wham, the group Wham. That's a great one. "Last Christmas." I also like I'm forgetting he's an old school piano guy. It's Christmas Time is Here, but it's the Peanuts version.
Oh yeah,
it's an instrumental. Oh, really, really smooth, great song. Yeah, Christmas Time is Here by I think it's like Vince Guaraldi or something like that. But anyway, and then last question before we wrap up, Darian, what are your thoughts on eggnog?
I'm not a big eggnog guy. You know that. I mean, we've known each other for over 20 years. You know, I've never like you get on me for not liking it, and I'm like,
people get on me for liking it more,
right? Because I feel like you get on me for not liking it. And I'm like, why do you like that? It's disgusting to me. But that's just me, though.
Dog, we've had a great time, and you're gonna eggnog at the end of it.
Hey, listen, eggnog.
We can't go out like this.
Not only eggnog, eggnog is elite, like A+.
I don't know about that.
Help y'all out, because when's the last time y'all actually tried it? Like, you can't be like, I tried it when I was 12.
So, remember you had your apartment in Jersey? I remember you used to have the little Christmas, the Friendsmasses and all that. I would take a sip, and I'm like, I still don't like it. If you even ask me, like, hey man, drink it, take a sip.
All right, so maybe not you. You're good. What about Aneesh? Ain't tried it since he was like 11.
I don't think I've ever tried eggnog in my life.
Okay. I'm good. Darian, you're saying I tried it and I didn't like it. I can't argue against that.
Right.
You cannot sit here and you've never tried something and be like, I don't like it. It's awful.
All right. Okay, Kwab, we've had this conversation a million times.
And you're still wrong.
I eat my pancakes with ketchup, and I love it. You've never tried it. Why you hating on it?
Well,
yeah, why you hating
on it?
No,
and we argue about this all the time. I've tried pancakes and I tried ketchup, and I know what they both taste like. You don't know what one of these things tastes like. You can't be like, I've tried nog. It's nog.
I've tried eggs, I've tried nog, and I'm good.
Listen, do you know one of the greatest desserts ever that has egg in it? Ice cream. A lot of ice cream is made with eggs and cream. True. You can't be like, well, I'm not going to like ice cream that has eggs in it. That's not.
But I can like egg and nog separately. I just don't like
nog.
Well, I will say this about certain foods. Certain foods, if they don't smell good, I'm not trying it. Like
that smells amazing.
No. I'm not negative not good. Like I'm kind of my family's from the South, right? Like I'm sure you guys have heard of chitlings, right? Ugh. Well, I've never had chitlings, and I never will ever in my life because they smell absolutely awful. So I'm never.
They also smell bad.
That's what I just said. They smell awful. So I'm never going to try it. So just to your point of like, you've never tried it. How can you say that? If something smells bad, I'm not eating it.
Aneesh is not saying eggnog smells bad.
Right. I'm not. Well, eggnog, no. I don't. Yeah.
One of my buddies tried live octopus. I'm good. I'm not.
How is that the same?
Well, I'm not doing live. I'll do it cooked.
I'll try live octopus.
I'm doing it
live.
Okay.
I'm good.
Kwab, I will in the next 4 or 5 days. I will try eggnog. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have some eggnog. I'm gonna send you a little video.
And I'm gonna post it. I want this to be the follow-up to this clip. And Aneesh is gonna try eggnog. And by the way, y'all, do y'all like eggnog? I'm talking to our listeners right now. Do you like eggnog? I'm gonna just a yes or a no. Maybe I'll put ain't no maybe. You either like it or you don't. So I'm gonna put a poll up. Y'all tell us if you like eggnog. Your boy here.
The problem is all of our eggnog drinkers are probably in Utah, and you've already alienated all of them.
I just said nobody wants to play there. Also, yeah, nobody's trying to play in Utah. But yeah, I do want to know if our listeners do like eggnog. I think it's a fantastic holiday drink. And I don't think that's hot takey. I mean, there's a reason why every year it's
no, it's not a hot take because it is a Christmas drink. I just personally don't like it. And
Kwab, tell me, where should I get it? You tell me the place. I'll go get
it. Go to a grocery store.
Yeah,
you ain't got a specialty item. You ain't got to go to.
You're trying to get me to go to the grocery store and get the eggnog?
Don't you go to the grocery store to get food? Like where do you get food? Wherever you get food from? Costco.
You do like Amazon, Instacart or something?
No, but maybe if I go to a restaurant or something, it's like, this place has the best eggnog, like Taco Bell or something. I don't know.
How about this? I'll send you the best brand. So next time you go on grocery shopping, you just look in the dairy section.
Can I go somewhere and get like eggnog, like I get hot chocolate or like a,
you know? You're overcomplicating this thing. Just go.
I know. Go to the supermarket, bro. Just go to the supermarket.
Brand eggnog.
Is in Nashville.
You trying to get me to get store brand eggnog?
I'm trying to change your life, man. I'm trying to change your life.
Right.
If you drink eggnog,
give me the brand, I'll get it.
I'm gonna text you some brands because I'm not trying to do free promotion.
Give me the best, man.
I'm not trying to do free promotion on our podcast. But this was fun, fellas.
Definitely.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys.
It's always great having you on, man. You're one of the. You're one of the. Yeah, I actually like Darian's idea. Whenever one of us can't make it, we may have you on speed dial. But then Aneesh is gonna start like charging us. He'll be like, "Yeah, I have a fee." Like, all right.
Well, if we get to that, then we're not doing it. It's
Yeah, I'm
like, hey,
good.
yeah, I'm good.
We don't
Hey,
But in all
hey,
seriousness, fellas, I hope you guys,
I got no fees for you guys. I got no fees for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, guys, I hope you guys have, both of you guys have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that. Obviously we're winding down to the end of the year. It's important to be with family, and regardless, I don't know, about people's beliefs of how the world's going or the country's going, but you see what's going on. I don't really have to say much. So, I definitely hope you guys enjoy this time with your families. And
Yeah, for sure. Well
it's
said.
important. It's important. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that are not going to have good Christmases, that are out there.
I'll be going. No, I appreciate it. I'll be going to Vegas to see mom and spend it with the brothers. My wife is coming too. That'll be great. But yeah, you guys have a great Christmas too. And hopefully you get a new favorite Christmas gift this year. You never know. Something new.
No doubt. No
Christmas,
doubt.
guys. Love you guys. Always a pleasure jumping
Love you guys,
on.
man.
All right. Peace
Merry
out.
Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.